Hi, everyone, and welcome to Book Club with Bay. I am Bay, and this is Bay. Say hi, Bay.
Hi, Bay.
And this is Other Bay. Say hi, Bay.
Hello.
And today we are talking about The Wicked King by Holly Black, the second book in the Folk of the Air series. And, right, so we're going to start off with ratings, I guess.
Well, do we want to quickly, before we jump into that, do the listers?
Right.
Because that's not going to take long.
Shit, I totally forgot. Well, yeah, okay, we should do that.
All right. You know what? Wait, before we get into any of that, there's just something I want to talk about real quick. I just sent it to you guys. And this is just like a thing that happened. I just sent this. I sent it to you guys because it's so stupid.
I haven't gotten it yet.
So
wait,
this
there
is
we go.
completely unrelated to book club. But Barnes and Noble did a thing
this is the reaction
for Black History Month. And what they did was they launched sales of classic novels with new covers promoting diversity. So what they did was they took a whole bunch of classic books and they put like Black people on the covers for Black History Month. So rather than like taking, Black authors, for example, and promoting them for Black History Month, they took some of the whitest pieces of literature ever, and just put Black people on the cover. And then,
except what's weird is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Is that a Native American?
It appears to be with like Nike.
Because the skin color, the skin color is black. The shoe choice is, I guess, stereotypical ghetto black. But the facial makeup, painting, and hairstyle and everything is Native American, and as is the dress.
Well, there's two of them.
Confused.
And then Romeo and Juliet, it's not clear if that is supposed to be a man and a woman or two. I can't.
Whatever. Fine.
It doesn't matter. But then
Romeo and Juliet are canon, male and female.
Well, like the other thing is that like Frankenstein, Francina Simone pointed this out. Frankenstein's monster is black. So a white guy made a black guy monster, which, especially given the time period of the book, I think we all know how that is problematic. It's a bit problematic. And then Peter Pan is done. The cover of that is done, like, if you actually look at it next to a bunch of old minstrel cartoons. That's done in that style. So that's great. Good job, guys. I don't.
And The Wonderful Wizard of Oz is definitely ghetto Dorothy.
Like
she's leaving Oz and going straight to a drive-by.
Like, why not just take
Black authors?
Like, like historic Black authors and new ones, up and coming ones, ones from like diverse age backgrounds, if that even makes sense. Because also depending on how old you are, it can be difficult to break into the author world, whether you're old or new or old or young, like all or new, whatever, new to the universe. Old or young, all of those things can present unique challenges depending on your genre. Like, there's all sorts of things that they could have done that wasn't that, and that's what they did. It's a lot. Okay.
Yeah, that seems like a very poor choice.
Yeah. And then it took me a minute to realize that they had done that for Black History Month. And especially for Black History Month, it just seems like the thing not to do.
Oh, great. Sorry, I just got a notification on my phone.
Especially given like the time period that some of these came out.
Exactly.
That's kind of like double offensive.
Yes.
Anyway, so for this series,
Lost Sisters.
The
We
Lost
were
Sisters.
supposed to do a stream for Lost Sisters, but it would have been pointless dedicating a whole stream to this.
Also,
Yeah.
it took me like 45 minutes to read.
So The Lost Sisters is a novella, and it's from Taryn's perspective, and it's kind of written as like a letter to Jude, and she's just like, here's what happened, Flock. I'm so sorry I was tricked by him. And that's literally it. She's like, I was stupid and I was tricked
it's the
by
book
him.
over again.
And it was the book over by him. You're just seeing like certain beats of The Cruel Prince, but from Taryn's perspective, and it doesn't matter. It's all pointless. I don't know why we're here. And because the other thing too is that, like, even though it's a weird like letter to Jude, it's not a thing that Jude ever sees. So you never see Jude's reaction to any of this. Jude
and it's
never
all
gets
kind of pointless considering the ending of this book and what we find out about Taryn. So why, bitch?
Yep, and with all that as well, like, I think this is something I asked you guys, and Babe was like, no, we'll talk about it on stream, damn it. But was this supposed to make her more sympathetic at all? I feel like it was supposed to, but I'm left just sitting there going, like, especially with how it ends, like, because the book starts off with saying, you know, she keeps practicing this in the mirror because she's looking at a reflection of herself, which is Jude, you know, because they're identical twins.
Yes.
And she's like, and it ends with, and I'm going to keep practicing this until you stop giving me that look, implying that she doesn't believe what she's saying. She hates herself for what she's done, all that stuff. So that tells me that it's supposed to make her sympathetic.
Yeah.
But all it does is make me go, you're a cunt.
Yeah, like that's the
literally
thing.
all this book makes me think.
That's the thing about all of these books so far, is that they do a lot of interesting things, and they're like ambitious, and they do a lot of interesting things, a lot of things that are off the beaten path. And the thing about writing is that you can do whatever you want, and that's the fun part. The problem is that I need to know what you're doing and like what you're going for. And with all of these books, I have consistently felt like I don't know what's up.
Yeah.
And I don't know what is supposed to be happening. Like with The Cruel Prince, it was like, is Jude supposed to be a psychopath? Or is she supposed
it's also,
to not
did
be?
we just get dropped into the middle of a 5-book series?
Yeah, like I don't know what I'm supposed to be thinking or feeling about these characters. And so that's really been like the major issue, because you can have a main character that like goes from good to bad. You can have a main character that's supposed to be a piece of shit, but like I need to know what's supposed to be the thing.
Yeah.
Or I can have a thing where I don't know what's supposed to be the thing, but I need to know that I'm not supposed to know. And I don't think that was the thing, but I don't know. And that's the problem.
And we've read 2 books and 1 novella from this series so far, and a running theme in it is, we mentioned this in the last stream, that she likes to pick a sentence.
Oh my god.
And just repeat it. Now, the Wicked King, she mixes it up. She repeats, I think 3.
Yeah. And it wasn't as often, I don't think, as the first book.
No.
But I will say, though, the one in the novella didn't, I mean, I was sick of hearing it. I was so sick of hearing be bold, but not too bold.
Oh, God.
I was so sick of hearing it. However, the repetitions fit into where they were placed.
And also the style of, she's saying a speech to herself in the mirror.
Yeah.
So like it makes like
it made
way people talk. It makes sense to repeat things.
Sense also with the storytelling style of the novella and how it was sort of like this weird letter thing, and I thought that was interesting. So I thought like with the novella it was way less weird. With everything else,
it was equally annoying, but it fit.
Yeah,
it fit better.
It fit the style much better. In the books, it's much weirder.
Yeah. So ultimately, all the novella tells us is, because her and Locke's relationship started. Yeah, her and Locke's relationship started before the first book.
Yeah.
it was about halfway through the novella that we got to the first revelry that they went to at the beginning of the first book. And then it really, and I will say as well, at least she massively glossed over almost everything that happened in The Cruel Prince. Like most of the parts where we got more detail was prior to The Cruel Prince.
Yeah, there was just a few
there was at least that
went into more depth of just how she was feeling. Like the lake scene, I felt like it was unnecessary to be in her perspective because we knew what she was feeling because we're human beings and we can infer that her twin sister stressed out in that situation.
Yeah. I will say that one thing that really confused me was, and it could have been just because I just didn't care enough to actually pay too much attention to the first book, you know. But I thought she got her ass, like I thought Jude got her ass kicked in the tournament thing.
So did I.
But then this one was like, she wiped the floor with them all and she made it look easy. And I was like,
yeah,
I'm so lost as to what happened. I thought she was black and blue, and like, because Jude was just like, why was I like? Matic walked out halfway through.
Yeah,
he didn't even stay to the end of her fight, and she was black and blue, and she was just like, why did I ever think that me, a stupid human, could ever take on the Fae?
That's what I thought too. I don't know.
Maybe it was just she did a lot better than everyone was expecting, and
maybe
therefore in the audience's eyes, she won because she did better than what.
Or maybe it was like
it's just
the fact that she defied Cardin.
No, because that happened after.
Well, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, the first book is still fuzzy. This one, at least since I'd read the first one, I understood kind of more of what was happening.
Yeah.
And it was a lot more clear and a lot less annoying in the respect that I actually kind of knew what was happening. And all the characters that were named, I knew who the fuck they were.
We didn't really get any new characters.
No, we did not.
No. Well, we did.
We got the mom, the queen, sea queen.
So
I don't know her name.
Let's go into the Wicked King. So ratings.
Yes, ratings. Yes.
I'm gonna go with sand because last time I said salted dirt, because it was food and I was duped into it, and then it wasn't. This time I knew better, so it's just sand. I wasn't. You know what? I really, really hate present tense, and that's my big problem with this book and this series as a whole is that I just cannot get past present tense, and that might be a me problem. But I can't get past it. I'm sorry, and I also can't get past this stupid romance. And there are issues that I have with this book. It might be. I think it's a me problem. I don't know because so many people love this series. I don't know, but sand. That's what it is.
For me, it's because I hadn't even thought of ratings, and then as soon as you said what's your rating, the first thought that popped into my head, and that's what I'm going to go with, is a toad sandwich.
Okay.
Because it's got a good foundation, like the bread. The bread's normal, you know, and the book has the potential to be good, but then you open it up and it's just cane toad.
Okay.
It's a mess. It could be good. That's the most frustrating thing about the series so far is the general plot arc so far could be amazing if it was done well. This series should have been amazing. And it's just not.
Like, I don't know exactly what food, but you know when you taste something and you're like, and then the aftertaste kicks in and you're like, oh God.
Vegemite ice cream.
Yes. Vegemite ice cream.
Because the chocolate's the first thing you taste.
No, because you know it's going to be bad, but you taste it and you're like, maybe.
Yep.
And then the aftertaste and you're like, oh God, I was right.
Yeah, because that was still, you still need to put that video up, babe, because the world needs to see.
It does.
Amy almost
2 years through it. Because, like, I wasn't nearly as mad this entire book that I was the last time. Like, I read this one in one sitting, while the other one I could not read for the life of me. But, like, this I read in one sitting. It wasn't that difficult. And, I was like, fine, whatever. And then the last fucking piece of it happened. And I literally thought I was going to punch myself in the face.
say that too.
Yeah.
Like I don't I like sand better than salted dirt because at least like I didn't go in with any illusions as to what I was getting into. Like I knew it was sand. Sand is at the ocean. I enjoy the ocean. But it was like sand but with no ocean, so just sand. And so you're like, well, it could be nice, but it's just fucking sand. It's like that, yeah, like what we were all saying. So I think we're all on the same page. So with that, characters, so there's Queen Orla. We mentioned her last time. That's Nikasia's mom. Nikasia's just one of the bitches.
I call them Sea Princess and Sea Queen.
Yeah, Sea Princess.
That will
and
be
Sea
what I
Queen.
call them.
Yeah.
And then we
so
also
with
Asha, who is Carden's mom.
Oh,
just
yeah.
give me 1 second.
Okay.
It was pronounced Asha in the audiobook, but apparently it was spelt with an A. So I would have said it was Asha if I was reading it, but apparently
Yes,
it's Asha.
that's how I thought. That's how I read it. It was Asha.
But I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is spelled with an A.
And as far as characters go, I think it's also important that we just go ahead and talk about Jude. So the book opens, and we all said this in our lovely group chat. Jude is not the same character.
Nope.
In this book.
This is a different bitch.
This is a different hoe. I don't know who this hoe is, but this hoe does not get boners when people get beaten, and when
she's not as stab happy anymore.
She's not. And so there's a 5 months time jump. So last book we ended where she's like, "Hello, Carden, you're gonna be my bitch."
Carden.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Carden's like, I guess I'm your bitch now. And then we jump 5 months. But the thing is, like, not a whole lot has happened in 5 months. So but we jump to a Jude who is not the same Jude, and we're like, all right, now I will say I like this Jude better. She's a lot more sympathetic. She's a lot
100%.
smarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I can actually imagine this Jude as an adult. My other question is, like, did everybody graduate school? What's happening? That's my question there.
Because weren't they like, what, 14?
Yeah, well, they were like 16.
No.
They're like
Carden was 18 in the first book.
Okay, well,
Carden,
fuck me.
What's Jude?
She's like 16.
I would assume she's about the same age. Give me a second. I will tell you.
Okay.
Because I have sources.
All right. So, but, like, I don't understand. But also, were they bound by human stuff as far as schooling goes? I don't understand. So anyway, I'm confused.
Well,
as
I
to why.
understand why Carden's not in school anymore. He's like,
yeah, he's king now,
king
and she's
now.
also like advisor to. I don't remember the word for it, but she's like the king's advisor. Which, whatever, fine. I'm looking past it.
She was 17 in the first book.
Okay.
Oh.
But her, I imagine, is like
essential. That's her role.
Yes.
Essential.
her. I imagine is like a whole ass adult now,
Yeah.
and but she's not like a whiny little bitch, which is
It all
interesting.
felt a lot older. Even the writing style felt a little bit older.
Yeah, like it went from mid-grade to like YA, which was like a jump, and it was wild.
Are you guys ready to see what Jude looks like? Because I don't think yous are ready.
Okay.
Wait. First, tell me this.
So this is hair styled in horns. Pardon?
What is the
What'd you
source
say,
of this
Addie?
information? What is the source of this
It's
information?
the official.
Okay.
I believe it's the official commissioned artwork, like character artwork, because there's a whole bunch of different. It's on the fandom page, but there's a whole bunch of different ones that are applied to each thing, and they're all consistent with each other. So I believe that all the
You're actually supposed to Carden
publisher
looks
had
like
them
next.
commissioned. Yeah, so that's Jude.
She looks
She's
like Zoe from
gorgeous,
House of Night.
apparently, but she's pretty. So that's Jude. Yeah, you're not ready for Carden. I know that the book keeps telling me he has black hair, but I don't picture him with black hair.
I picture
I
him
don't
like
either. I'm
blonde.
picturing blonde.
Same.
He's a blonde boy.
But
I'm
he's
sorry.
not.
Yeah, like they left it open for way too long. Like he is a blonde. Okay.
Okay, there's two pictures of him on here.
I think
And I
he's
don't know
blonde in
which
all
is
our
worse.
heads because of like the cover art. No, he's not. He's
Why
not.
are his eyes like that?
He is not the screamer of an emo band. Okay, that's.
Yeah, why does he look like he's about to
Who
like?
is that? Is that Cardin? Is that who that's supposed
That's
to be?
Cardin again. That's
No.
Cardin again.
No, that's not
And
what Cardin
then
looks
there
like.
is. Then, you know the
Cardin
scene
is
in the
not
last
Kellen
one where
Why does
she's
he
got
have a
him.
okay?
gold highlight on?
Well, then you know the scene in the last book where she's got him tied up and she has a knife to him, and that's where they end up doing a kissy kiss.
Yep. Why is there art of this?
I don't like that.
And
Oh,
then
God,
there's
keep
also
scrolling, yeah.
what
looks
is
like
my
a
phone?
He has literally a wing eyeliner on.
Okay. This is not how I-
Okay.
Yep. Uh-huh.
This is not how I imagined any of this.
Very interesting.
Oh, is there more artwork of Jude? I didn't scroll down on her page. Oh, yep, there we go. There's another one of Jude. She has irises. It's just not, the camera's just not picking them up.
Wow.
I wonder if there's one of Vivi,
Oh, yeah.
because we know what Taryn looks like, because
Yeah,
she's
because twin.
Jude. Oh, okay.
That is just not how I picture Cardin at all.
I know, right?
I mean, the cheekbones
okay,
are the only
the
thing
only
that
one
were
of
right.
Vivi, the only one of Vivi we have is like a tarot card style picture.
Nice.
Nice. What about Matic? Because, I mean, oh god. Oh god.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Matic has green skin.
I know, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
never remember that he has
He
green
looks like
skin,
Mr.
and I always
Incredible.
picture
Mr. Incredible.
and I always picture Matic with dark hair.
Yeah, why
I don't know why, but
they're all blonde?
she's not
Like, the people I didn't
this
expect to
author
be
is not-
blonde were blonde.
Yeah, and the people that you expect to be blonde are not blonde.
What does Oak look like?
She's
Oh,
that's
it's
who
like
I'm
a
looking up
tarot
right
card
now.
thing. Yeah, it doesn't. You don't really get like it good.
I know, but
He's a toddler in this. Everybody
He's
else thinks he's a toddler too.
He's 7.
Look at Locke.
Ooh, Oriana. Okay.
Okay, now I see the
interesting.
fox hair and fox eyes. I get it
Wait.
now. Also, was anyone else surprised that he was part of the hunting party when it was like, come out of the tree
Nope.
down to the foxes?
Nope.
I was like, Locke's part of that group.
Yep.
He's the only one that's ever been described as fox-like.
Get it? It's your hen night, but like, dude. Shall we get into the plot now?
Anyway.
Oh, wait. Taryn. I guess because of how she styles her hair and everything, and that's Taryn.
So, okay. But yeah, so Jude is...
Oh, yeah, we're still in characters.
Yeah, anyway, so like Jude is very different in this book. And that threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
I like it better, but like the problem is just that nothing's happened. Because the reason why we jump is that nothing's happened. It's like, okay, nothing's happened.
Which
and I'm
is
like,
fine.
all right, that's fine. Yeah. But then also you can't give me a different character. The one thing you could do though is have things happen off screen and then give me a different character. That's interesting too, but that's not what you did. You just changed the character. Yes, Faye, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Also, and again, I think this was because I just didn't care enough in the last book to pay much attention. It didn't click to me that she tricked Cardin. Cardin thought that he was going to be placing the crown on Oak's head in the last book.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't click. And then it makes so much sense now because she looks at Cardin and it's just like, kneel down, show Oak what to do. So he kneels down and then Oak's like, here you go. And that's why Cardin was pissed at her. That went right over my head last book.
Yeah.
But it's explicitly stated this one. He did not expect to ever become king. And he was just like, he found out when he became king. He was like, I don't understand. And it makes sense now as well why she didn't bind him to her for longer.
Yeah.
Because she wants there to be about a decade of his rule.
Yeah.
But, okay, now we can discuss the plot, I guess.
I'm not ready for the final part.
Do we start at a party? There's another revelry happening at the beginning, is that right?
It's been 5 months. Oak and Viv are in the mortal world. She misses Taryn. Taryn's getting married in a few weeks. People are having audiences with the king. That's what they're doing.
Okay.
There we go. And my note so Locke gets a new title, and my note for it is Locke is like his permanent bachelor party planner now. I don't know. The master of like revelry.
Yes. Because that's what they call like their balls and parties and anything, any big thing event is a revelry.
Yep.
Yes, May.
Okay, so something that's made way more explicitly clear both through the novella and in this book, which I don't know, I guess was supposed to be clear, but like I said, I don't know like what authorial intent is, which is driving me nuts. But anyway, my personal frustration with that aside, it's made a lot more clear that everything that happened to Jude is more or less Locke trying to embarrass Carden for having a boner.
Yes, for having a crush on her.
By the way,
and
like that's a thing now.
It's a mix. So, initially, like the initial torment, like the dirt that we see in the first book, anyway. The initial torment, like the dirt in the food and everything. Mm-hmm. Nikasia and Carden, I think, were behind that because Locke stole Nikasia from Carden and dumped Nikasia for Taryn. But at that point, he had told them it was Jude, not Taryn.
Yes.
So there was also a bit of that as well. And I think Carden did instigate some of it because he hated Jude because he wanted Jude and he hated himself, so he was putting that onto her. But also Locke as well was also escalating things and making things worse again, just to be like, fuck you, Carden.
Yeah.
You like the mortal girl.
Really bad friend.
I think we can also go ahead and say that for all of the really complicated emotions that are introduced in this series, they aren't explored enough.
Yeah.
Like the concept of Carden hating himself for liking Jude
because she's human.
Interesting.
Very.
That's very interesting. But we don't talk about it enough.
Which is why I still wish that we were following Carden in the series instead of her.
Yeah, like
I like Carden. I do.
He's
an angsty boy.
He is an angsty boy.
My favorite book man.
We just don't talk about that enough. Like, it's not explored enough. Even on Jude's end, it's not really explored enough to be dealt with. Like the nuances of all of these really complex things are not elaborated on enough. And it's it's one of those things. Like, if you're gonna do it, can you fucking do it? What the hell? Why are we here?
Yeah, the first book explored that a little bit better than this book, which is annoying. That's from Mara.
Yeah. yeah, and it did. The first book did explore that better than this book. And
which, like, this is kind of the book to explore it in, considering her and Carden's relationship goes from like hating each other to like hate making out to like
so like they're like, okay, by the way, also spoilers ahead. This is book club with Bay, not spoiler free book review with Bay. So we are going to be discussing spoilers. They get married in this book. So like, this is the place to explore it. And this is another issue with like the series, is that we never slow down and like talk about shit. And it's like, you need to actually talk about stuff. We're going to be talking about this shit. Like, why aren't we talking about anything?
Also, like, oh my God, say things, you know, like.
Well, in present tense, you're going to be doing a lot of telling and not showing.
Yeah.
In a way.
So we need
in
to
a
be
different
told.
way. So like you need to tell us what's up. Like and you need to slow down and I don't know, we need to talk about these things. I don't
breathe
like, just,
for 20 seconds.
Yes, I know, right? Hey, I'm sorry. And then Jude, okay, we need to talk about this now because this was a thing that I'm okay. Content warning, real quick. I should have said this at the top. I meant to. I had a note to do it, but I didn't. Content warning right now. Rape, sexual assault, all that kind of stuff. So if you don't want to hear us discuss that,
run away.
We're about to discuss that. So 3, 2, 1. I'm pretty sure that Jude gets raped multiple times on screen.
I completely disagree.
And we just don't fucking talk about it.
I completely disagree. I don't think they ever have sex. Because she explicitly does say what we didn't do. What we did do, what we didn't do. I think that he just fingered her and that's it.
So she gets violently sexually assaulted on screen?
I don't think it was sexual assault either. She wanted it. In her internal dialogue, she's like, I do want this, but I'm freaked out because he's a fairy and I'm a human. What does this mean?
No, Balkan.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Carden. I was like, no, murder, like consensual.
Balkan.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. You're totally right. You're right.
No,
she does. Yep,
she gets raped more than once on screen, and we just don't discuss it.
I just killed Bay. I'm so sorry.
You're like, no, she wanted it.
I totally thought the context of this was Carden.
No,
I was like,
no,
you kidding me? She wanted to be diddled. Are you like?
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if her and Bale can ever, but like, because he's like, kiss me like you kiss Carden, and then it fades to black, and it happens a few times, and he's and then when she goes to him at his manor, like, what is it, Hollow Hall or whatever?
Yeah, Hollow.
He's like, are you ready to do anything I want? And she's like, yes, master, I am ready to do whatever you want. And then we fade to black again.
Yeah, she's supposed to act like she's glamored. But okay, nope, you have a point.
So I'm pretty sure she gets raped on screen, and
I'm pretty sure, and that makes me think as well that if that was happening, her and Carden had sex before.
But that's not stated because she basically says that they don't.
But she doesn't explicitly say that she did or didn't. What they?
Okay, I think they. Okay, this is another thing too, because also there's a sex. We're jumping around, but there's a sex scene between her and Carden, and I think they do because they're completely naked. And it.
But she says she says what we did and didn't do. Which makes me think that they did everything like but sex.
Or maybe they did sex and not much other foreplay.
No, they described the foreplay. They did that.
And I am also wanting to know how, because we know that he involves his tail because he starts caressing her leg with it. I'm wondering if he does other stuff with his tail.
Nope. I chose not to think about that.
Do you think he uses it to help himself masturbate?
Hey guys, if you had a tail, would you use it?
Nope. Nope.
Like a long, it's a long tail. It's a long enough tail to wrap around someone's leg. We know that much.
Yeah, from you being on top of the other person. And your tail
can go reach around and wrap around the leg.
Around the leg.
But like the thing is, this is another thing that's like a tone problem, and not the sex scene. Okay, well, the sex scene's a problem in that, like, the fact that we're confused
as to what happened.
That's an issue as well. That's an issue in and of itself, by the way. If you're gonna have a sex scene or a not sex scene or whatever the fuck,
that's
a heavy makeout scene. This is an issue, okay? My first thought in reading your sex scene shouldn't be like, let's have a discussion about whether or not it happened.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't have to be there for it, but like afterwards, she should at least have the parting, like the passing thought of, you know, but we didn't have sex, or but we did have sex. The thought needs to go through the head,
Yeah, it
confirming
needs to
yes or no.
explicitly go through, because even like, well, the reason why I think they did have sex, the like, well, I thought about we didn't do, like that can be construed as such, but like also it'd be really nice if they explicitly stated it, but they don't really ever explicitly. I don't know why I'm saying they, but she doesn't explicitly state things.
And then also, this is a tone problem, okay? Because enter cast stage left and Holly Black stage right. Fucking
have a conference.
Like the three of you sit down, all right? We need to have a chat. Hello. Sudden rape in your YA novels.
Yeah, or even just like any sexual assault whatsoever.
Yeah, because again, like it's never explicitly stated either way, but it heavily implies.
What her and Balsam did. Yeah,
well,
it heavily implies that they did.
Here's the thing, though,
and the question
even for a YA novel,
though, is it
even for a YA novel, the fact that he's even like forcing her to kiss him, because like there's even that sexual
that's still
assault.
A form of assault, exactly.
So
I mean, and like the lines are somewhat blurry in this as well, based on the fact that while he's under the impression that she's glamored and therefore like his mindless slave, she's not actually glamored, so she's choosing to do it. But it's also like, so it is, but it isn't, because it's through coercion.
Yes, it is absolutely, because she will die if she doesn't do it. And I'm sorry, but if you're gonna die if you don't do it, it's sexual assault.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying it's not like Neferet.
Yeah,
right.
Where it was
it's a different kind.
But it's also, I know that you're
she's consenting
not
under duress, if that makes sense.
Right, but that's also something
isn't really, it's not real consent.
Exactly. But this is one of those like, I'm almost never one of those people that's like, you have to think about the fact that you're writing for children. But in this case, you need to think about the fact that you're writing for children. Oh my God.
Exactly. That's what I was just thinking, where it's like, I think if your market is 18 and under or 17 and under, yeah. If it's 17 and under, if you're going to have actual like sexual assault or anything like that, there should be a warning in the front of it, because your audience is not of legal age, at least in the US, they're not of legal age, and you know, blah, blah, blah.
Well, they should like 17 and under. They're not adults either way. Like even if they can legally have sex, they're not adults.
Right. And then also, if you're going to do it, I'm not saying you can't do it, but you should be very careful with how you do it and how you handle it. I mean, she should have thoughts and feelings about this, because when you're consenting under duress, the way that you feel about yourself after that is usually, now everybody's different, everybody reacts to these things differently, but for the sake of a wider audience and for the sake of having the conversation, for the sake of the fact that you are writing to children, okay, you need to actually address the typical response, which would be feeling disgusting about yourself and all that kind of stuff.
She should have the thoughts of like, you know, where she's convincing herself she did the right thing in the situation she was in. And
she doesn't. Like, as soon as she gets out of the situation, she's like, all right, I gotta go find Carden.
She's like, well, that's done.
Go find Carden.
Yeah, she's like, banged his brother, now it's time to leave.
Yeah, right. And time to go see him.
And and it's like, you need to at least address that it happened. Like in an adult novel, really going into the nuances of how different people react to things, like go for it. I don't have any kind of problem with that, because that's your target audience. Okay. Your target audience is adults, and there it's a lot more appropriate to address the fact that different people respond to these things differently, because
in different ways. Yeah.
Because there are people who are going to immediately be like, absolutely, I did the right thing, don't even need to talk about it. Some people do respond that way, but for the most part, that's not the typical response.
Especially let's say she's still 17, a 17-year-old.
Yeah, like it's better to cover all your bases when you're writing to children. And like I am usually not one of those people that's like, think of the children. But honestly, holy crap, when you're addressing this, think of the children. Holy shit. It's like,
Maybe
Jesus
that's
Christ.
why she kept it ambiguous, but at the same time, like, we're gonna go there.
Go there.
Don't just like pussyfoot around.
I mean,
it. Like,
I know. Also, Bae, I know that you were making a joke before about like, you know, like Holly Black and the cast all had a meeting type, or like should all have a meeting type thing. But I honestly think that they should all have a meeting because, you know, one thing that drove us crazy about the cast, Holly Black is the opposite. The descriptions, like we said, all of those character pictures were like, you know, like that's not how I pictured that person at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only clear description we get is like, I think it gets mentioned that Maddox twice that I can remember in both books. It's mentioned that he has green skin.
Yep.
And Vivi has
and Carden has a tail.
Cat eyes. Yeah, Carden has
a
a tail and horns. Does he have horns? No, his mum has horns. Oak has horns. Maddox and Vivi have slitty eyes.
See, I imagine Vivi is like
the main descriptions we get. Well, Vivi was blonde.
Okay.
According to
Vivi's blonde.
She's blonde.
But Maggie's not dead. Woohoo!
Yay!
It's just one of those things that, and again, if anybody's new, content warning, we are going to be addressing, we've been talking about sexual assault.
We have been addressing
this. So yeah, it's just one of those tone things that, you know, look, I don't think that anything's off limits. I think it's a thing, especially for a teenage audience. It's something that when discussed appropriately could even be helpful because you can dispel myths about consent and you can talk about it in healthy ways that can be helpful for people and all that kind of stuff. But when you do it this way, it's jarring.
It's ambiguous and she's not processing any of it at all. And
I mean, like, she doesn't even process that, like, the curtains are white. Okay, like, God damn it.
Also true.
Like, she doesn't process jack shit. But like, good God, if you're gonna process something,
fucking process the fact that you were kidnapped and tortured for a month, and then probably sexually assaulted.
That's the other thing too. Like,
she was kidnapped while this was happening.
Yeah, she's tortured. She's kidnapped.
Underwater, where she's like charmed to be able to breathe, but like she's still. I mean, you're still breathing in fucking water.
I'm like, we don't talk about.
Except it looks like I think the only place where she's not in a room filled with water is her bedroom, her bedroom.
Yeah, her jail cell.
Yes,
she has no trauma.
She thinks looks like a massive suite. Well, like, they think she thinks looks like a suite.
You know what? It made me like. Next time I reread the Mercy Thompson series, I don't know that I will complain about Mercy's trauma from anything. I don't think I can, because things not being addressed is way more annoying.
Yeah,
because
and at least
happen.
Yeah, and at least with Mercy as well, like you know, the first couple books after that, like the first book immediately after is like she's still like panic attacking every 10 seconds. And then it just gets less and less and less. And like by the 10th book, I think she has like one, and we hadn't seen one in a couple books. So it's like, oh, well, I guess those are still a thing. But
it also made sense. I mean, because like the fourth book, she gets rape-a-doodled in the third book. And in the fourth book, it takes place immediately after the third book. So it makes sense for her to be like a mess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas Jude, 2 seconds after she's been kidnapped and tortured, she's like, anyway. And also,
I have shit to do.
Also, she's emaciated and all sorts of shit. And she's like, so everybody was kung fu fighting. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? You're emaciated.
Yeah. You've barely eaten shit in a month.
You haven't
barely
spoken to
eaten
people.
anything.
You've been sensory deprived for a month. You've had to act like you were glamour for. I think I'm more traumatized than you.
Yeah, no. I think this book confirms that Jude is a sociopath.
She's something.
She's not a psychopath, because a psychopath would have been Jude would have been a lot more angry than she was. I think she's a sociopath. That's the annoying thing, because in the first book she was a psychopath and now she's a sociopath. So I don't know what she's going to be next book.
Oh my god!
I don't know. I read the last chapter of the last book because I had to know what was happening. And
can you tell me in the side chat what happens?
I don't know any context of anything. I just know one thing that happened.
Okay, text it to me. Text it to me.
Yeah, because I'm trying to come into this as blank. Like, I'm coming into this blank as possible.
Story-wise, I don't know what happens. I only know one snippet of something.
Okay,
because like I might have gone to the wikis, but I haven't actually read anything on the wikis.
Oh, just to give us a little bit of break.
A picture of what Carden looked like, and that's how I found it.
Just to give us a little break, I do have a bit of an announcement. So first of all, the Blackwood's the Beginning audiobook will be out very, very soon.
Oh, I'm so excited. Soon. Yeah, let's chill while
sorry, interrupting for 1 second. We're talking about The Wicked King by Holly Black. Carry on.
But also, so if you have any of our hardcovers, you know that they usually come with this really gross inside that we can't do anything about. But now we can do something about it. So we have this one, you can't really see it through this camera, but it has like, you can't see it at all through this camera right now because it's not behaving, but it has like some of the cover art from
We'll post it on our socials.
Yeah. Yes. It comes like that. So they're pretty now on the inside is what I'm saying. Which is super nice. They're nice and updated. They're nice and pretty.
Are those live to be bought?
They're live to be bought. You can buy them now. And so like these are updated too. So they're super pretty. They're nice and pretty, nice and updated. We love that. So yeah, any signed copies that are ordered, anything ordered on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, etc., will be the live updated versions. So that's that.
Anyways, back from the interlude. I guess we should continue with actual plot instead of jumping around asking if Jude went through trauma and didn't acknowledge it.
Have we even actually started to discuss the plot yet?
So Locke is now the dude that does parties.
He's the master of revelries.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
He's the dude that does parties, and
Hi, Pat.
it's really just kind of reintroducing the dynamic of everything of like, oh, well, she's like the second in command and Carden's the king and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Yeah, so like, I guess the perfect example of her position to Carden is, okay, motives aside, because Jafar was evil, right? But she is the Jafar to Carden's Sultan.
No, or like
pretty much.
Hand of the King. And like Game of Thrones, Hand of the King.
Yeah.
Yes. Also that. I like my Aladdin one more because it's one of my favorite movies.
Plot discussion starts in the third hour most streams. Shut up. Like, just because you write doesn't mean you have to say it, okay?
Oh, gosh.
That makes me sad that he's teasing us.
It's Maggie. What do you expect? Over in the YouTube.
Not wrong, though. Like,
I know.
These are true things. Fine. We had a lot of important things to just hash out, okay? Yeah. All right.
So what happens? What happens after that happens?
When does Taryn rock up?
Not yet. She's going to visit Balekin right now.
Okay.
So what happens next?
Oh, and then she goes to the pipe of something.
Yeah, because apparently one of her spy friends was like, hey, Belkin's been trying to contact Carden. You probably want to go see what's up. And she's like, yeah, fine, fuck, I'll go see what's up. She goes, sees what's up. And she meets Carden's mom, who's in jail, but she doesn't know it's Carden's mom
But
yet.
she doesn't know it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
she's
Carden's
just like,
mom's just like,
"Hey, dude, I can tell you about your mother.
I know
And
you,
she's just
mom.
like, oh, also, while Belkin is, because more or less, if you've done something bad, like even if you've done something really, really, really bad, you usually are still just publicly humiliated as your punishment or killed. Those are generally the two options. But if you've done something atrociously bad, you get sent to the Tower of Forgetting, which is more or less you just get sent there. And because you're immortal, you just literally spend all eternity in a tower.
Just being forgotten.
And that's that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Great.
And Baelkin is kind of like turned it into his own little kingdom. Like the guy, like just like, gods, jump for me. And they're like, how high, my prince? And
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole. We kidnap a guard.
Jude kidnaps a guard.
Yeah.
And brings him back
Takes
and like
spy land.
And the spies are just like, it's easier to, just not kidnap people, right?
She's like, yeah, but he has information he's not telling me. So, hey, here we are. And I'm like, yeah, okay, makes sense. And this is when the plot of this book is revealed, where the queen of the undersea, she's planning something. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orla. Okay, because last book as well, it wasn't as clear what Nikasia, like how Nikasia's mum was queen, I thought, and I don't know about you guys, but I thought her mum must have just been a queen of a lower court.
I didn't know her mom existed until this book.
I think it gets mentioned like twice in passing that her mum's a queen. So I thought her mum was a queen of a lower court. But we find out, I guess, in this book as well that the rulers of lower court are lord, whatever, not king or whatever. But,
yeah.
So it's the land fae and the sea fae.
Yep.
The sea fae are pretty much mermaids. Nikasia is a mermaid, but when the mermaids are on land, they have legs. So her mum and the crown have a truce. Carden's dad had a truce. They're not. She doesn't answer to him. He doesn't answer to her. They have a truce. So that's the political situation right now.
Yeah. And essentially the agreement was just with his father, and she thinks that Carden's just a fucking 18-year-old and who shouldn't be crowned. And, is she wrong?
I would say by the end. I don't think she's. Oh, sorry. No, I think she is wrong. I think.
Yeah, by the end of it, yes. Carden's very capable.
Okay, because it's also said as well, like once a new king is coronated or new ruler is coronated, there's usually like a month-long revelry happening. Where 5 months later, the revelry is still going. So yeah, she can be forgiven for thinking he's useless.
Yeah, and the world is connected to the prosperity of the king. And so, the world has become, livelier and more colorful and, something like that. So, it shows that he's a good king. But we only find that out at, the very end of the book. So.
Yeah.
Yep. So, then we see, Taryn shows up.
Yep. Then Taryn shows up. And Taryn is like, hey, I just wanted to chat for no reason in particular. And that's all. And Jude is like, yeah, fucking sure you did. And then Taryn's like, so I was wondering if you could make it so that Locke is no longer the dude bro of Revelry. And Jude is like, I could, but I'm not gonna.
But I won't. But she didn't tell Taryn that. Like, yeah, sure, I'll talk to Carden. I'll do that.
Yeah. And finally, in chapter 4, she finally acknowledges the fact that she and Carden made out last book. I was like, wow, about
Yep.
damn time that we've acknowledged that happened and we have unresolved quote unquote sexual tension. Not really, but we kind of do.
Yeah.
Then the book shows her poisoning herself to build resistance to poisons, which is something she does because she's a spy.
Yes. And she has a way of making, the spy stuff, she also has a way of pissing people off around her, and she's mortal. So she dies pretty easy.
Yep. So she's like, I might as well build my resistance to poison because
Yeah.
She's got a dum-dum for the most part.
sometimes.
Well, that's debatable. Okay. She has the ability to be dum-dum.
Yes, exactly. There's some things that she's decent about and other things that she's just like, nope, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, most of her idiotic stuff is more from a social perspective. So about non-social stuff, she's not really a dum-dum.
Yeah.
But
so then Carden gets in trouble and the spies are like, yo, your dudes, you need to come help. And so the furniture in his room was all wrecked. It was lit on fire, and like some crazy shit was going down. And someone tried to shoot him. And people were like, wait, what the fuck?
He was banging in the leg with a crossbow.
Yes, he was. Yes, when I say shoot, I mean crossbows. I don't mean like pew pew. I mean
like pew pew.
We're in fairyland, okay? Guns are nothing in fairyland, guys.
Hello. Ow. Ow. Oh God. Oh God. Here we go. Here's the nuisance.
Cassie.
Cats are fake, confirmed.
Come say hello to the people. Nope, she's just going, yep, all right, cool. And
she just loves you. She's giving you all the kitty kisses.
She do. She loves me so much that she wants to.
I miss her so much right now.
Just lay on my arm. You'll see her in a few days. It'll be fine. You're messing up my hair, cat. Oh God. Her headbutts are so forceful that they literally move my head.
They really are.
She is a persistent little fuck.
She is.
Anyways, so there's a secret passageway that goes to a different room. It wasn't very clear, but Jude goes down it and finds what is her name? Sea Princess?
Nicasia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finds her. And she's like, yeah, I shot him. Because he was fucking another girl.
Oh yeah. So Nicasia is in the like Carden's father's bedroom suite. The passageway goes from the suite that Carden is into the king's one. Because I'm pretty sure it was where Carden is currently staying is where like one of the king's concubines lived, which I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Carden's mom's room.
I think, yeah, it probably is.
But yeah, so that's so Carden ends up having to move into because they're just like, Carden, it's about time you move into like the king's suite,
the big room,
yeah.
And he's like, fine, I guess.
And it's also revealed here that Sea Queen wants to marry her sea daughter off to Carden, or she's going to break the treaty.
Yep. Also, sorry, I think it was this. Both of these happened in the first revelry of the book as well. Guy comes up and he's like, I am Crimson. I made the magical crown upon your head right now. I wish to be unbanished. And he's like, I shall unbanish you. And he's like, thank you, my good sir. And then another chick comes up and she's like, hello, I am Hag. Marry my daughter. And he's like, no. So I don't know if there's going to be any bad consequences from that. I know she's in the book later, the Hag, but there doesn't seem, I don't know if there's going to be bad consequences from him saying, I don't want to bang your daughter.
Yeah.
No, thank you, Hag. So
then after, Sea Princess.
Nicasia.
I'm never gonna remember it. It's just not gonna happen. Sea Princess is her name. So Sea Princess is also like, oh, by the way, someone near you's betrayed you. And she's like, cool, all right, great, gotta figure that out.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. The one thing this book did well is that I was genuinely hurt by the fact that the ghost was the douche nozzle.
Yeah, because the thing, because Nicasia's like, somebody you trust has already betrayed you. And the way that the Fae are as well, like even Jude acknowledges, for all she freaking knows, she could have been talking about the fact that Taryn was banging Locke behind her back.
Exactly.
Like, so she could have just been trying to mess with her head, but it turns out no, Nicasia was actually like being legit. She was like, no,
she's actually being a bro.
Shit's about to get all fucked up in your business.
Yeah, and then
well, because
I takes Hardin to her place.
Yeah, like because I think I said to you guys, like as far as like the romantic subplots go, like one Dane in the first book would have made more sense. That would have worked. The ghost would have worked.
Except for the fact that I pictured him as Ted Cruz.
Okay, except for the fact that you pictured, but not when he was on screen. He was not Ted Cruz on screen. Okay,
no,
he becomes not Ted Cruz on screen, so it's fine. And then the ghost.
I'm gonna look here. I'm gonna see if there's a picture of him.
What does the ghost look like? What is he supposed to look like? I want to know.
The ghost.
Ew.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll find the ghost. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the ghost is hot. I mean, it's a tarot card picture, but that's the ghost.
Yeah, the ghost is hot. That's actually what I kind of imagined Cardin looking like.
Yeah. Except I pictured him like more platinum blonde.
Wait, possible romantic interest, Taryn?
What?
Wait. What, for the ghost?
Yeah.
Stop reading. Turn it off.
Stop.
No, like it only has him as appearing in The Cruel Prince and the Wicked King. And I know he's in the next book. He's still alive. This isn't updated.
Oh, so how is Taryn a possible love interest of the ghost?
What did we miss?
Unless they've only updated some of the basic information and they haven't actually.
I don't know.
Well, because of the last book came out like a couple months ago.
Do you want to see what Dane looks like?
He's blonde, right?
This is another one. I pictured him with dark hair. He's blonde.
What? No, he's not.
Oh, see, I imagine everyone blonde. Like, everyone's blonde.
Other than like the fact that he should be dark, yeah, that's about right.
From the way it's coming through on the camera, he looks like Raphael from Fire Emblem.
Oh, why'd you have to say that? Oh God, stop.
Anyway, so she takes him to her place because it's the only place that's safe. And he's like, kiss me, dude, kiss me. And she's just like, wait,
kiss me till I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me do it. Kiss me until I am sick of it. By Justine Eyre.
I'm so glad I read instead of listen because so many things would be worth
for L. Armentrout, narrated by Justine Eyre. Kiss me until I am sick of it. Jude.
Oh God, Jude. Anyway, she's like confused because she's like, we hate each other. I don't get it, but you're sitting there and you're like, no, you don't fucking hate each other. You're just an idiot. Anyways,
you know what? I'm not surprised with Nicasia, like because the book even mentions at some point as well that she has blue hair. So I was like, oh, blue hair, okay. But that's also Nicasia.
Yeah, Nicasia's about right.
I imagined her very, very tan.
She's a mermaid. Why would she be tan?
I don't know. I imagine mermaids tan. I don't know. This is how I do.
So I guess whenever you think of like the mean girl in like the popular click thing in anything, she's usually got a tan. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. A lot of the next stuff is just kind of useless.
Sorry, I just saw Maggie in chat. Vocal Fry,
the novel. By Justine Eyre.
Oh, did you guys see the clip from 2.5 Men that I sent you that had Justine Eyre in it?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, we've all. I think
I literally downloaded that episode just to film like that clip that she's in.
That's you sent it to us. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. But she doesn't sound like, Vocal Fry because she's playing a French chick, which annoyed me. I was really hoping for that.
There are some books that she narrates entirely like in British accents.
Okay,
yeah, apparently she's good at accents. I didn't know that.
Well, she's not.
Oh, okay. I haven't listened to
which is why it's fucking wild
books
that they let her do this. She's like one of the most prolific audiobook narrators on the planet, and it's like, how? Whose dick did she suck?
Like, honestly, when my mom is clipping, like, chapterizing audiobooks, and like every time I hear chapter 1, I'm like, Mom, is that Justine Eyre? And she's like, yes. I'm like, like, all I have to hear is chapter 3.
Yeah, chapter 1, chapter 3.
I'm like, no more Justine. Honestly, next time we do a Justine Eyre book, Addie, you have to listen. You have to listen to a Justine Eyre narrated novel.
We've listened to so many hours of Justine Eyre.
Prepare for me to be useless on that stream because I don't understand. Like, I can't absorb information through her audio. So I'll just be like, I don't know what happened, guys. I listened, but I don't know what happened.
Okay, well, fine. You at least have to listen. Okay, if we ever do one narrated by Justine, if we ever listen to one narrated by Justine, we will send you clips that you have to familiarize yourself with prior to the stream.
Or we just need to do it
for example,
she's visiting me, and then she'll listen to it while I read. That's what we did with House of Night.
Because also, if we do a stream where the book is narrated by Justine Eyre, like half the stream is just about Justine.
Yeah, it's so like, Cuddle Bunny. Like, that's the whole thing.
Agape
Moo.
I've never heard of it. I've never even read that book, but I know Agape Moo. I know what that word is.
You know what? Because I was watching the Super Bowl with my parents, and there was like one thing that was like agape, and I was like, no, go away.
Somewhere along the Great Western Highway in Western Sydney, there's a church, and it's a Greek Orthodox church, and it's like agape something, and I think, did we drive past it?
You made
Yes, I intentionally went that way. I intentionally drove that way so we could drive past. I'm like, hey, look,
you were like, hey, look, and I was like, no, this is not okay. Hashtag things that are not okay.
Well, I'm very lucky that that's an inconvenient way for me to drive literally almost anywhere. So I drive past it like twice a year at most.
Yeah.
So, but because every time I've seen it since, like we did Covenant, I'm just like, agape no.
Agape man. Agape. And then it got worse with like
Maggie, Sticky and I are actually getting guppies soon to put in that tank. So I will name one of my guppies Moo. Okay?
Yay! Guppy Moo.
That's really funny.
Oh god.
That's the next fish we're getting guppies.
Yay!
Like we're legit doing it, I think, in the next week.
It's a guppy named Moo.
Since when I will be like, this shall be my moo. I shall call it moo, and it will be my moo. And he will be like, but why? I'm like, so it'll be a guppy moo. And he just won't get it.
It's not important.
And
why?
you know what sticks is like, if I try and explain it, he'll just walk away. He'll just be like, yeah, I don't care. I'll walk off. He's so mean to me sometimes.
Kitten. Oh, demon. It's just like the way that Alex.
It's not even narrated by Justine, and we're still stuck on Justine.
I'm sorry. Because
Anyway,
she does the male voices, okay? And she repeats, kiss me until I am sick of it. So many times.
Okay, let's see. I don't know. They do a bunch of shit that's pointless for a while, and Taryn poses her for something.
That's later.
No, that's right now to get a key.
Oh, that's how she gets in. Yeah, that's how she gets in.
Which is important because
that's foreshadowing.
Yes, it's foreshadowing that she poses as her because they're twins, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Jude is like, we also need a way to give Balkan misinformation, so she temporarily releases Carden's mother, and he's like, also, by the way, a thing's going to be happening at Taryn's wedding. Oak shall be in X place when he'll actually be in Z place, and and so then Balkan finds out.
Yeah.
While before Carden moves into the King's thing, the Bomb and Jude are going through all the stuff to make sure it's all safe and whatnot. And the Fae have, I guess, their version of a photo frame is like an enchanted object that shows like a short video memory type thing. And one of them is Carden is like, a little kid, and he's just like, "Mommy, love me," and she's like, and so then he goes and like beats the crap out of like a little pixie thing, and then she's like, "Well done, son," and he's like, "Thank you, mother."
Yeah.
And we also find out that she was just like, "I can't be bothered caring for you. Here, be fed by a cat."
For whatever reason, that just reminded me of like that one time in House of Night when we were all having a breakdown, and I went, "Mummy, I want to fuck a bird now."
God. And also remember the thing that broke me for that series was, what was it? Oh God, I blocked it from my memory.
Oh my God, that's
the cheer. Was that one cheer?
Go in dry, come out wet.
RAVENS.
N-S. Yeah, that's
doesn't even rhyme.
It doesn't even
RAVENS.
RAVENS. Raven.
And I literally cried.
Literally. And I was like, I don't know how to fix you. I'm so
And I was just crying at the exact spot. Ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, like, I do understand, like, okay, I'm not justifying that specific chant, okay? I'm not justifying that one, okay? Except for maybe the spelling part, okay, in this bit. Any cheer chant that is not literally just, let's go team name, let's go. Anything beyond that is corny as all fuck. And no matter how you try and put that in writing, you'll look at it and go, wow, that sounds awful.
But I'm sorry.
That does not excuse going hard, come out wet.
The cast really wrote that down and published it. All
go
right?
in dry,
that's
come out wet.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
and it was the only time we saw Zoe that entire book. So, whatever. Moving on now. Fuck, there's another party. All right, we're at another party.
What is happening? Okay.
Sea Princess and Sea Queen are there.
Oh. Yeah, also, wait, is this the where
this
she
is the Queen of Mirth thing?
Yes. So prior to this as well, Jude has instructed Carden, because he has to follow all of her commands.
Yes.
You will not harm me. You will not allow you will not instruct anyone to harm me. If you find out of any harm that will come to me, you are to tell me. etc., etc., etc. But everything she was talking about was physical stuff. However, this is our first indication, though, because has nothing to. He didn't even have to say anything to her in this scene.
But yeah, he did
based on
warn
her
her to leave.
intelligence. But he did. Yeah, he was like, so you might want to go back to the castle. And she's like, excuse you.
She's like, fuck you. Thanks, Mimi. And yeah, bit her in the ass. So Queen of Mirth is a game where they take a mortal person and they glamour them, or they get them drunk and convince them that they're getting crowned queen. And Jude gets chosen to become the Queen of Mirth. So she's just like, fine. So she strips down to her undie pants and is like, all right, what the fuck do you want to do then? And everyone is just like, shit. And
she's like, fine, let's Queen of Mirth this bitch up.
Yeah, because everybody knows that she's not glamored.
Yes, but they don't know that she can't be glamored yet.
Yes, but they know that she's not.
Yes, but they know she's just like, I hate all of you.
Yes.
Yeah. So then they put like an old potato sack over her. If she was a normal human, she'd probably be like drunk on fairy fruit.
She would, yes.
And be glamoured, and she'd think she was in a gorgeous gown. And, But no. So then she gets stuck inside this never-ending dance thing, and then she eventually sets the card, and she's like, "Look, I'm fucking done. Can I be done?" And he's like, I shall allow the Queen of Mirth to leave whenever she wishes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, okay, peace out, motherfuckers. And she leaves. Locke orchestrated that.
Yes, Locke did orchestrate all of this because he's an asshole.
And like I said earlier, this is one of those things where like it wasn't even specifically done to humiliate Jude. It was done more to...
No, that was all done for Carden.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was done to bother Carden, not Jude.
Yep. Then at the end of it, the undersea folks show up and they're like, hi, you have to marry our people to your king or else. And Carden's just like, he's being a decent politician. I didn't write down exactly what they said, but I was like, he was being a decent politician with it, showing more of his capabilities as a king.
But he also says, fuck off.
Yeah, but essentially he says like, no, thank you. Fuck you.
Yeah, he's like, fuck off, but nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But politically. And so Carden, or no, I already said that. But Maddox meets with Jude and is like, hi, I want you to betray Carden and murder all the heads of all the courts. And she's just like, no, you fucking idiot. And the only agreement they come to is that they can't let this betrothal thing happen. Because, like, they both want Oak on the throne for different reasons. He just wants to be king, essentially, like, behind-the-scenes king. And if Oak becomes king, then he becomes behind-the-scenes king.
Yeah, he becomes regent.
Yeah. So that they both want Oak on the throne, but just at different times for different reasons.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wants Oak on the throne because she thinks that he has the potential to be fair and just. Whereas Maddox wants him on there because, you know, he wants the powers.
This is when she brings Asha out of the jail. And she's like, I'll tell you everything if you free me from this tower thing. And don't tell Carden that I'm here. And Jude's just like, and she tells Jude a prophecy about one of her mother's kids being a weapon of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it.
Jude's mum was told by a seer of some sort, your child, I don't know if she said your unborn child or just your child. This was while she was pregnant with Vivi.
Yeah,
your child will become a weapon.
Yep.
And she's just like, fuck, and that. So she believes that had a part, at least, in
her leaving.
Mum fucking off. But she's like, but I don't think she was talking about Vivi, just so you know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she's talking about Jude because it's our main character, and there's a prophecy about a character. It's probably going to be about our main character. If Die For Me is any indication, it's going to be about your main character.
And then they're in the mortal world, returning humans that they kidnapped.
Yes, I don't know. I remember reading that, but I remember not writing it down because I was like, I don't really care.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, it was the night before. It was before they it was immediately before they picked up Vivi, Heather, and Oak for the wedding.
Oh no, so they haven't done that yet.
Okay. What else happens in between that and the wedding?
They're at a council meeting. Maddox like, war, let's fucking go, and everyone's like, for fuck's sake, calm down, dude. Like, we're not going to war.
Oh, that's right, because Ola is like, you shall marry my daughter or war shall happen.
Yes.
Pretty much.
And
and Maddox is like, R-A-V-E-N-S, war, let's go. He's got pom-poms and everything.
So here we go. So he wants to meet with Jude alone. And she's like, oh, so I want you to seduce Sea Princess to get information. And he's like, oh, well, you know, how should I seduce her? And then starts like being like, should I start like this? And
that's right. This was so weird.
And
I'm a sucker. I was here
they
for
start
it.
making out, and then he's like, tell me you hate me. She's like, I hate you.
That was when I was like, please stop.
And it was like another, like one of the Jude moments, but with I hate you.
Yeah, here's the thing. That could have been cute, but it
was fine until he was like, tell me you hate me, and I was like, God damn it, you
even like before that I wasn't okay with it, just because like their whole thing is so weird, like because the whole time kiss me until I am sick of it was like running through my head, and then he's like, tell me you hate me, and then you know what it is you were reading it, I was listening to it. And so as I'm listening to it, he's like, and how should I seduce her? Should I do it like this?
Exactly. Like I can imagine a hot voice in my head.
Like this.
Y'all don't have a choice.
And so I'm like, stop. Please.
Yeah, reading it, I was like, okay, Gordon. Okay. I was like, get it, boy.
And then he's like, tell me you hate me. And she's like, I hate you. And he's like, say it again. And you're like, oh, for fuck's no. Stop it.
Stop. And then after that happens,
did they not do fuck scene?
Yeah, this is when she's like, I kept thinking about what we did do and then what we didn't do. That's this scene. Where she's like, this is one of the only things she even starts to process. She's just like, oh my God, okay, so okay, I need to focus. I fucking can't focus. All right, I need to focus. Whew.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, I need to go get my siblings, and Locke is there. And she's like, hey, will you stop being mean to Carden, please? Please, just stop. And Locke's like...
And also, you need to stop messing around on Taryn. Once you're married, you're going to be a good husband. And if you're not, I'll mend you. Just so you know.
Fair. And then this
you
is
break
when they're
returning...
returning...
I'll break your fucking face.
This is when they're returning mortals.
Yep. So pretty much they've taken mortals to prepare for the wedding.
Yeah, to go pick up
Heather.
Yeah, I think so. Heather and Vivi and Oak, which Heather is Vivi's girlfriend. But doesn't know fucking jack shit about
what? Yeah, Vivi didn't tell her jack.
Yep.
No question. Why the fuck is Viv even coming to
Why
this
are we
wedding?
bringing Oak to this wedding?
And why is okay? Let's do those two aside because, like, you know, I guess to an extent, like, you know, it's their sister's wedding.
Yeah.
Like, I know that, like, Oak isn't technically their brother, but he's been their brother, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, he's their brother in all of their heads. He's their brother. So, fine.
Yeah.
Just from the sibling factor alone, I'm just like, look, I guess I can understand why they're like, it's worth the risk. It's a family thing. He should be here. I don't think he actually should. I don't believe that, but I can at least see why it's going.
All right.
But why the fuck is Heather going?
I don't know.
Heather does not need to be here.
Even if you're like, it's time to tell her, why would you? Why the?
I mean, maybe she couldn't think of a lie, but you know what? Well, actually, she can't lie, right? But
Jude lied.
You know how she can get away around the not being able to lie to Heather thing? All she would need is for Taryn to say, I only want you and Oak as my siblings there.
Yeah.
Right? And then Vivi could say to Heather, look, you know,
it's a family only wedding.
Here. She's asked that only her siblings come. And then she could just make a presumption of, I guess she wants to keep it small. And small is a relative term. Small to some people is 200 people.
Yeah.
To some people.
The other thing too is that, like, Vivian has not been shown to be a stupid character.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden, she's a fucking numpty. And
good job, Faye.
Thank you.
I'm rubbing off on you.
and she, like, doesn't properly prepare Heather at all. Like, she hasn't.
No,
she told her that day.
She doesn't even not properly prepare her. She doesn't prepare her. She's like,
she just is like, hi, here's a magic horse.
And then she's like, how Heather finds out anything is Vivi summons a horse and Oak takes his glamour, and poor Oak, bless him, he's just like, Heather's gonna, because I can guarantee Vivi said something to him as well that also made him believe that Heather would be like, she'll think your horns are so cool type thing. Yep. So he's like, surprise, I have horns. And Heather's just like, ugh. And then Oak's like on the verge of tears. He's like, she hates me.
Yeah.
I'm like, come here, you little fictional character. I want to hug you.
I just fuck. I'm like, Holly, can we sit down? Because here's what I have to say about this. And I hate saying this. I really do. But when it comes to character consistency, the casts are better.
At least you know what we're getting into.
Other than Damien, when, like, Jack died and Damien had to become the sobby gay.
Damien inherited Jack's spirit.
Yes. And then also, like, when other Jack and Damien got together, that was very weird. They didn't do a good job with that, but that's neither here nor there. For the most part, the casts are much better with character consistency.
Zoe's biggest problem, you know what Zoe's biggest problem was? The fact that she stayed consistent.
Yeah.
There was no growth.
They need to take notes from each other, and together they might make a good book.
But, like, what the fuck?
I mean, I guess she wanted Heather and Vivi to break up, but you know what, though? Heather could have been as prepared as possible and gone to the wedding, like, fully knowing what to expect, right? And the whole situation where she had to get glamoured and then Vivi tells her the truth, like, unglamours her and all that stuff. That all still could have happened if Heather had been prepared. Or if she wanted Heather to fuck off, it could have just been Vivi after they got back from the wedding. They had a huge fight, like, you know, we're together. Do you think your family's not going to accept me? What the fuck? I don't understand. I'm a fucking fairy. That's why you couldn't come. And she's like, and leaves. Like, there's so many other different ways that they could have broken up.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Because that would have been more nuanced too. And Viv would have been less of a fuckwit.
Yeah, you don't just go, oh, by the way,
you're not just
yeah,
like
we're going to a wedding.
magical
Yay!
horse.
Oh, by the way,
Brother
he's
with
a horse.
horns.
My
We're
brother
going to
has
fairyland.
horns. I have
Isn't this
slitty
fun?
eyes.
I would have dipped immediately. Actually, no, I would have wanted to see what this place is like, and then I would have dipped.
Yeah, I'm way too curious, but I would have been
Yeah.
like, I would have called you guys and I'd have been like, so
Let's do it. And y'all
guess
be like,
what the
"Fuck yeah."
fuck's up with this shit? And you guys would have been like, I mean, don't go, but go.
Yeah.
Let us know what
Like,
happens.
send pictures before you die a horrible death, I guess.
Yeah. We'll miss you. We'll say nice things at your funeral. We'll together joint give the Jack was a very special boy speech.
Jack was a special boy. If that's not the funeral at my speech, or if that's not the funeral at my speech, god damn it, I'm gonna be so mad.
Gonna
We
haunt
will
the
give you a
fuck.
House of Night eulogy day.
Oh fuck
We will
yeah.
merge all of the eulogies and poems and spells into one
Oh, and we
amazing.
can cast a circle.
I need a circle.
Yes. The circle
Fuck.
will be cast,
Oh god.
and it will be as flamboyant as possible with it. And we have to do the arms. It will end as your casket is carried
I'll be
out.
Kelowna dancing
The
entire
entire
time.
congregation will have to Kelowna dance you out. Okay.
Hopefully by then we have flotation devices, so that way they can just float your casket into the ground while everyone's Kelowna dancing. Everyone.
It'll be a magical day.
It will be.
Literally.
Anyway, so they get to Fairyland, and Jude is like, "Hi, Heather. I know you're stressed, so let me tell you what to do and what not to do. You need salt, you need rowan berries, etc., etc." And then
Because also
she-
Vivi didn't even do any of that either.
no. So then
But she
later,
would, because in the first book, she's always like, Jude, do you have all your stuff?
Yeah, and that's the thing as well, because like
All
Jude
your
was also
stuff.
like maybe, yeah, like 'cause
oh,
All of
Jude-
it.
well,
Your vape
Jude
juice,
was-
Jude. Where is it?
like because Jude was even saying like in relation to that, which to an extent I understand this, but again, not to the full extent that Vivi mind blanked over it all. But Jude was like, look, Taryn and I did hide a lot of the worst aspects of being human from Vivi.
yeah.
So like it's no wonder that she was, but also though,
But also, she
Like,
knew to
they
keep
all
the
entered
rowan
fa-
berries
they
on
grew-
you and salt shit.
yeah, and like Jude and Taryn grew up in Fairyland
Yeah.
for like over a decade.
Yep.
And yeah, even throughout after 10 years, they were still being reminded most days. Got your rowan berries? Excellent. Got your salt? Excellent. Don't eat the fruit at the revelry, and don't you dare do a dance.
Yep.
But in this one, Vivi was just like, ah, my sisters were fine. She'll be right. And it's like, well, no, your sisters were raised by Fae who told
Yeah.
them what they needed to do to protect themselves.
Well, and Vivi hates the Fae.
Yeah.
She doesn't trust the Fae. She hates the Fae. She hates Fairyland.
If anybody would be like, she would be more cautious.
She also
Then
probably
Jude or
wouldn't
Taryn.
The
fucking
person
bring
she
Heather to
loves.
this wedding. If she really hated the Fae that much, she wouldn't bring Heather to this wedding.
Yeah, she wouldn't just be like, so this person that I love so much. I mean, like, I ran away from this place to be with you, and I tried to get my sisters out. But do you want to go, like, for a romp around? Wouldn't that be fun? With no protection and no warning about what's to come next. Like, her whole thing was that she didn't want to bring Heather there. Like, that's her whole thing last book. She's like, I don't want Heather here. Like, I do not want her here.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing her here.
And now
But
it's
no.
like, let's bring her. That'll be fun.
Let's just bring her. Let's just bring her with no protection. Let's just rock around the Christmas tree like nothing's wrong. It'll be great. It'll be a grand old time.
And again, all she had to do was say to Taryn, you need to tell me that I'm not allowed to bring Heather. And give me a reason. Give me a reason why I'm not allowed to bring her.
Yep.
That I can tell her.
It's for the plot. It's really not, though.
No, it's, I mean, maybe in the final book. I'm assuming the next one's the final one.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Because I was like...
Yeah, but again, like, there's no... anything that was needed for the final plot, again...
I don't think Heather should have been involved.
If Heather needed to have gone to Fairyland for the final plot, Vivi still could have given her a heads up and given her all the warnings.
Yeah, fucking for real. Be a good girlfriend. If you're going to take your significant other to a fictional land that you think is fictional for your entire life, make sure she fucking tells you first. Be transparent. Communicate with your significant others. Relationship advice from Book Club with Faye. Just because we're not doing a romance novel doesn't mean we still don't have to give a relationship.
Like, honestly, it ain't that deep. If you are about to freaking put your SO into a big steaming pile of shit, you know, give him a heads up. It's that's the polite thing to do.
Yep. Anyways, so she sees Carden and the Sea Princess together, and she's like, "Oh fuck, I remember him touching me like that. Oh god, I want his dick. Bye."
Yeah.
And then
he comes up and he's like, "So am I out of your system now?" And she's like, "Yes, you are."
Yes. She's like, yeah, yeah, yes, 100%. You're totally out of my system. Fuck you. I hate you.
And he's just like, okay then, and walks away.
Yep.
And I'm just like, even from that, I'm just like, dude, you're a fuck nut.
I know, literally just be like, no.
Yeah, like he comes up, he's like, you look great. You look fan-freaking-tastic today. Look at you, you beautiful thing, you. And she's like, oh, well, thank you. And he's like, so, how you feeling about what happened? And she's just like, yeah, I'm over it. And he's like, oh, well, bye. And it's just
very
like,
sad.
dude, you're an idiot.
It's very sad.
You're an absolute idiot, dude.
Yep.
Like, what guy comes... Okay, you may or may not have slept with him. We don't know because you didn't tell us, Jude, because you're a bitch. You at least hit third base with him, you know. You at least did that. And then he comes up to her and he's like, you look gorgeous, you know. I'd tap that again type thing. And she's just like, well, I'm like, you know, so that thing about us. And then she's like, I'm done. And he's like, oh, bye.
Well, I was kind of hoping to get my dick wet again, but okay.
Like, you don't have to be that skilled with boys to understand that if a guy comes up, like, a couple days after you guys do stuff and be like, you look great. So what are your thoughts on us? Of course he still wants to do a thing.
Which is obvious later as well.
If he didn't want to do a thing, he'd be like, well, Jude, hi, bye.
He would never speak of it again.
He would be ghosting you. He would, well, okay, he can't ghost you because she's the advisor.
But then he would never, he would just act like it never happened.
He wouldn't raise it. He wouldn't raise it again. He'd make you feel like an idiot for thinking about it.
And also we find out right after that ever since that happened, he's been spending his nights alone. He hasn't been sleeping with anyone else.
Yes.
And Jude knows this.
Yes.
Jude's an empty.
But Bailkin, the brother, wants to come talk to him. Yes.
Wait, no, that happens later. Never mind.
Bailkin's like, hello, brother, I want to speak with you. Set me free. And Corn's like, no, fucking leave. And that's it.
Yes, and then he's like, Jude, WTF, what the hell is the thing? And she's like, oh, by the way, here's all this stuff I didn't tell you. And he's like, well, why didn't you tell me? She's like, I had it handled, yo.
Yeah.
And
remember, I'm the mind, you're the face. Just keep it this way.
Yeah.
Then
midnight. Yes. So they're having a girls' night in at Maddox's place.
Yep.
And Jude went to
Get
see
a wedding
Grimston,
present.
Mr. Yeah. No, she went to see the guy that made the crown thing.
Mm-hmm.
And was like, I need a jewelry for a sister. And he's like, well, have this pair of earrings that will make you irresistible, I guess. And she's like, cool. And then so she's on her way to Maddox's house and she's like, tra-la-la, walking through the woods or riding through the woods, whatever she's doing. And then it's like, attack! And then boom, and she's up a tree and they're like, come down, cat, the foxes want to play. And it's like Locke, obviously, because Fox.
Yep.
And it's like, meow. And then she's like, and dagger throwing, and there's arrows, and then she yeets, and then she's lost the earrings.
And she got shot through the thigh as well. Or in the thigh. The arrowhead was still, it wasn't like a clean sweep. It was like lodged in her leg. And she gets home. And
the arrowhead was an antler.
I did not know that, but that's pretty cool. So she's like, fuck, I gotta take this out. So she like cuts it out, all that good stuff. And then Viv is like, whoa, what the fuck happened to you? And she's like, nothing.
She's like, I need thread, stop.
Yeah. And so they fix it up but now it's the wedding.
I just want to say, like, this was actually one of those sequences in the book that was really well done.
Yes. I agree.
It was a very well done sequence. Even like the part with Viv was very well done. And it was one of those sequences where like she was sewing herself up, where she was keeping herself collected, where she was actually reflecting on how she felt about the whole thing. And I was like, this is one moment where Jude is actually a good protagonist. I'm like, I feel bad for her. I'm rooting for her right now. I'm like, Taryn's a shitty sister. And I'm on Jude's side because she's trying to be a good person. She also like doesn't want to look weak because Maddox, and I get that.
Yep.
And right now Jude is doing a good. And I was like, for the first time in this entire series with this sequence, I was hundo on Jude's side.
Well,
so
honestly as well, like I will say bless Jude. In terms of like, she's like, fine, I'll go to, like she said to us, I'll go to your wedding. She even went to the trouble of trying to find her, a present. And then she got one that specifically would help Taryn with her insecurities. Because Taryn has also said, I know that Locke is
interested in
fooling
you
around on me. He's gonna, he's also been sleeping with other people.
Yeah.
And that he's going to continue to do so and this and that. And she's just like, well, these earrings, if she wears them, like he's not going to have eyes for anyone else as long as she wears the earrings.
Yep.
So she's even like, she's trying to protect her sister still. And her sister betrayed her a million times more than Locke ever did.
Yep.
And
I'm just like, bless you, Jude. Like that, I will say, is just like, bless her.
Yeah. So even though there are a lot of issues with the book, with the books, and there are a lot of issues where like I don't really understand what kind of character Jude's supposed to be. In this one sequence, it was very well done.
I get it.
And I like in this sequence, I get what's happening. I get what's going down. I'm on Jude's side. And I'm with you the whole way. And when she's also being very adult in this sequence, so she's not the character from last book.
No,
so,
she's totally different character.
I don't know who that is, but that's not the point. In this one sequence, the character that she is, it's a good character, and I'm into it. And I wish the whole book had been like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We also at the wedding because at this stage as well, Heather's like cautiously attempting to be okay.
Yeah.
With the situation. Oriana is stoked that Oak is back and he's like, Mummy, and she's like, and then we see the big difference in Oak between what he's like, because the last book, remember, he's a freaking toddler, and then when we see him in Vivian Heather's house, he's still a coddled child, but he's like starting to actually start to act a bit more like his own age.
Yeah.
He's learning math, he's doing drawings like that are actually look like something that resembles something. Like a 4-year-old can't draw a person, and then you look at it and go, wow, that's a person. You're like, what the fuck is that? Oh, it's a person. Okay. I see that. You know.
You're like, yeah, good job.
But then as soon as he's back in Fairyland in Oriana, like Jude even says, you know, she's back to babying him and cuddling him and being like, oh, look, my little precious Bubba, which, like, and she even says as well that, like, Jude's also a bit hurt that she's like, even, like, knowing what she does now, that Oak is not Oriana's biological child, she is his mother.
Yeah.
And Jude's a bit hurt that, knowing that, she never made an effort to be anything other than the reluctant stepmother to the 3 girls.
Yeah.
But I honestly think, though, as well, though, that based on all of Oriana's interactions that we've seen on page and everything, I don't think she's I don't think she's the wicked stepmother that Jude sometimes tries to paint her as.
Yeah.
Like, she is obviously concerned about them. Like, she's like her being like, don't do this, don't do that, make sure you do this, make sure you do that type thing. It's like, make sure you don't die, please. You're mortal. Like,
yeah, it's
don't.
her way of expressing care to them.
But it's also very different to have, like, to raise a child from birth, like your dead friend's child that you have taken from their stomach, that you've cut out of them to protect them, that you've raised from a premature baby.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would also form an incredibly different bond than, oh, hello, pubescent children that I guess I'm stepmother to.
Yeah.
Agree.
Like, obviously there's going to be different bonds there.
Yeah.
So they're at the wedding and she sees Carden. She meets up with Carden and they have a very intense conversation that I don't remember what it was about, but I remember Maddox comes in at the end and is like, oh, I see now. You two are fucking, right? Like, I see how this is working. You are having sex with him in exchange for your position.
No. He worked out that that Carden's bound to her.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. That's better. Yes. Okay, so that's what he figures out. It was very late by the time I got to this point because I was like, I'm almost done. I'm just trucking through, guys.
Yeah, well, also because also Maddox doesn't come in and say, oh, he has to follow everything you say. He just walks in and is like, I know what's going on with you two. And Jude's like, oh, fuck. And he's like, yeah. You and me, once all this is done, you and me, we're gonna have to
have a chat.
Game on, bitch.
Yeah.
Is pretty much where he's at.
Then she finds her way to the wedding and finds a cat who's actually Heather because someone turned her into a cat.
Yep.
Because fairies are great.
And
yeah.
So then Heather gets unfelined.
Yep.
And Vivi glamours her into forgetting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because she's freaking out. She's like, I want to go home.
Heather's having a full-blown meltdown.
Yeah. Well.
Yes, as you do, because I would be too.
Yeah. Right.
I would be like, ah! And then also Jude is none too happy because she's like, no, even if it's bad, the blanks in your memory, not knowing what happened, wondering what happened, the floaty feeling of being glamored is so much worse.
Yeah.
You can't just do that to people. That.
And she also said as well, if you glamour her into forgetting the bad thing that happened, she's not gonna realize next time how careful she needs to be.
Yeah.
She needs to remember.
Yeah. Like, she needs to know.
Yeah.
Vivian's like,
this scene also establishes that Fae weddings or Fae marriages, whatever, it's not like us where, you know, like they're all there for the reception. They're not there for the wedding. Because the wedding is just between the two parties. All they have to do is exchange some vows between the two of them. Yeah. And the magical wedding thing has happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then this is just the after party.
Because the thing is, And we find this out twice, essentially. It's reiterated, which is another good thing that the book does. It does.
Yep.
It reiterates important things.
And I liked the reiteration of the wedding thing. I couldn't be mad because I'm a sucker.
Yeah.
And the reason why it works this way is because the Fae can't lie. So if you are married to someone, you can't
lie.
You can't deny that you're married to them. So
yeah.
If you're like, you know, yes, we've exchanged, I like exchanging vows. We are now married. If somebody's like, are you guys married? You can't be like, no. Blah, 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 you know?
Yeah. You could try and use weasel words and phrases without technically lying, but in a way that makes it sound like you're not, but also the Fae would be like, it's a yes or no question.
Like yes or no, are you married?
Just say yes or no.
Yeah.
Oh, well, does the sun set in rise in the west? And they'd be like, no, but that doesn't answer my question. That just implies that the answer is no, but it's not actually a no. You know.
Then we'd also got
then the ghost is like.
We'd also got intel at this point that the sea people were going to act at the wedding. They're going to make their big move at the wedding.
Yeah, so they've set up a few traps because they think that because she was like, if you deny the marrying Nicasia once, we will have your blood. If you do it twice, we will have something else. If you do it thrice, there shall be war, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So they think your blood thing is they're going to come after Oak.
Yes. And Ghost finds her, and this is also when we find out the lock.
We need to get to the tower, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And she's like, okay, well, I'll go get my peeps. And he's like, no time for peeps. Let's go. Yeah. She's like, okay, fine, let's go. And so they run to the tower. Well, they don't run because it's a while away. However they get there, they get there.
They horse ride, I believe.
Yep, all the guards have been taken out. I don't know if they're dead or just unconscious, but all the guards are taken out. And she sees Cardin's mum, and she's like, be free. So she gets a thing and like her magic sword thing and cuts her out of her jail cell. And she's like, be free, Cardin's mother, future mother-in-law, you know, be free. And she's like,
literally.
And she's like, cheers. And
but
you know, so she and then,
yep.
And then she's like, Balkan. So she runs to Balkan, and Balkan's not there. And she's like, I'm now. Wait, is he there?
No, he's not.
No, he's not. And she's like, oh, fuck. And then she turns around, there's the ghost. And she's like, oh, ghost. And then she's like, why are you with mer people? And he's like, well, ha. And then she gets knocked unconscious.
Well, he's like, no. He goes, I worked for Prince Dane. I don't work for you.
Yep.
And then she gets knocked unconscious. And I was like, hey.
So you side with the person who is in league with the person who killed your boss.
Doesn't really make sense.
No, it doesn't, but it's fine. She wakes up at the bottom of the fucking ocean.
Which was kind of dope, honestly.
I'm dying.
It was kind of a cool scene change.
No, I'm not dying.
Yeah, and then she's just been kidnapped, and
we just sit through like a month of her being kidnapped, and like we see Queen Orla, and you actually see that Queen Orla likes Nicasia and that she's really fond of Nicasia.
Yeah,
she's a bitch, like she's a ruthless bitch, but I admire.
She loves her daughter,
but I admire her. So Orla's actually done like well because she's a character that you don't get to see a lot of, but for the screen time that she has. Or page time, whatever.
You know exactly who she is.
You know exactly who she is, and you get a lot of nuance out of her, and she's done very well. So, round of applause, Polly Black for Orla. Good for you. But this is where, like, she's down there for a month. She actually goes through withdrawal because she doesn't have any of her poisons that she's used to. So
and they think she's glamored. We've gone into the undersea part earlier.
Yeah, we went to the undersea part earlier. This is like the first time that Balkan is like, kiss me like I'm Cardin.
And she does. She literally thinks, she's like, I can, if I close my eyes, I can see him, so I'm doing it.
Yeah. And we find out, like, end plan thing. So Grimson, the crown maker dude, they're like, well, he's gonna make a new crown.
Yep.
And the plan is, I guess, to kill Carden in some way.
Yes.
And
yeah, they want her to kill Carden.
That's right. Because also there's a curse on that crown that whoever kills the thing does him dead. So
yes,
they're like, well, you're gonna kill Carden.
Yeah.
I don't know who ends up actually poisoning him later though. We never find that out.
I assumed it was Balekin or one of like his folk.
I know, unless she's forgotten about the curse that was supposedly on the crown. I don't know, but then sorry, I need to stop playing with my nail file.
You're fine.
We find out their plans about that, and that she's like, "Fuck, okay. Well, if I ever get out of here, I need to warn Carden about Grimson. We need to sort that shit out. I regret lying to Carden and saying that he was out of my system. He's hella not out of my system.
Yeah. She's like, I wonder what would have happened if I was honest.
Yeah. And
don't
Nicasia, she
licked my ear.
And Nicasia's got the shits with Jude because she thinks that like Jude's done something that makes Carden take her advice and get into her position, and then Jude's just like, no, like done a lot more than that with Carden, let me tell you. And she's just, and Nicasia's like, why you? And he's like, because maybe I didn't try and shoot him with a crossbow.
Yep.
Nicasia.
That was the whole conversation.
And she's like, you told him? And she's like, of course I told him. Why wouldn't I? You're fucking crazy. So, Jude does a very good job at pretending she's glamored the whole time. And then she finds out later on that Carden is paying a ransom.
Yep. To
get her back, and she's confused.
She's like, why me?
He's free from me.
Yeah, and it's like, no fucking
he's
shit,
free
why
from me.
You idiot.
Yeah, it's like, because he's in love with you, you fuckwit.
Yeah.
Like, the books are named after him. You idiot.
Even though he's not, I guess he's wicked at the end, but like, whatever.
I think we're supposed to still think he's a bad guy at this point.
Are we?
I suppose.
Because I didn't even think he was a bad guy like halfway through the first book.
Yeah, right? Like,
it's as soon as the whipping scene happened, I'm like, I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay. He's a sympathetic character. He's got a tragic back. And then this one,
I'd rather follow
his
him
mother
than Jude.
ignored him. And then we find out later as well that, like, in this one, his mother ignored him unless he was being actively cruel to people.
Yeah.
His mother couldn't even be bothered to keep him alive, so she gave him to a cat.
Yeah.
And it's like
he's fucked up.
Kid. No wonder he is how he is. I just want to like take him and hug him and wrap him in bubble wrap and go, we can be nice now.
I want to fix him.
Yeah, right? Like, this is a fixable character. Like, this is one of those bad boys that can totally be fixed. Like, this is not irreversible damage. He just needs like chocolate and a hug. Okay, like, it's fine. It's gonna be fine.
And I think this happens after she gets back as well. I don't think they've had this conversation yet as well, but later on as well, he said, he's like, no matter how many times he tried to prove his father wrong about him being just a worthless, cruel piece of shit, his father just ignored him and didn't give him it was just like, oh well, you tried to do a good, but you suck, so fuck you.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, and then he was just like, well, fine. If my dad thinks I'm worthless and
I guess
I'm not good for anything except for hurting people, I guess I'll just do that then.
Yeah.
Like all this kid has ever wanted is love or affection from either one of his parents. That's literally all he's wanted.
Yeah.
And he's never gotten it.
Poor guy.
So no one, and then the only person who has ever showed him affection also beat him regularly. So can we fix Carden, please?
Yeah, I know, right?
I hope we do.
I think he is fixed. I think he's fixed.
Yeah, by now I think he is too, but like, still.
We're gonna have to have a long conversation about the ending because there's so many different possibilities.
I went ahead and read from
I know
the
what I think. Okay, so it might be what I think then.
I know exactly. I can tell you yes or no.
Okay. So, so now she's it's time for her to go back to land, and Balkan's like, so by the way, you are, as soon as you get a chance, you are going to come to Hallow Hall and see me, and every time you find
whenever
a red
I
cloth
call
in your path,
yep,
you come like a little lassie. And she's like, yes, master, because I am clamored. And so they go there, and Maddox and Carden are side by side, and she's like, wow, that's weird.
Yep.
And they're like, welcome, Balkan, our new ambassador to the land of the sea. And she's like, why the fuck would Carden do that just to get me back? And it's like, because you're a fucking moron, dude. That's why. You asking that makes me wonder why he did it as well.
Yeah.
So then she gets taken to Maddox's estate, and she's like, but I want to go to the castle. And they're like, now.
Yeah.
So she goes to Maddox's estate, and then every time she tries to leave, they're like, now.
Yeah, so she has to sneak out. After she has a conversation with one of the lower Lord King people, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. No, one of their, they said, he sent someone. Yeah, so the person who bore witness to the oak putting the crown on Carden thing, that she made a bargain with him that at whatever point she would owe him a favor of equal value.
Yes. And
so he sends one of his peeps. Yeah, because well, not yet, I don't think.
No,
That hasn't been said. Because the person is like, you know, to get you back, Queen Ola demanded the ability to attack one court, you know, without any repercussions. And they attacked your friends because Balkan's pissed that he bore witness. So we're pissed. And he's going to be coming soon, and he better give whatever the frig his name is the answer he wants, or we're going to be coming calling for our favor. And Jude's like, well, fuck, I guess I should go see Carden. So she sneaks out.
Yeah, so she sneaks out, can't get in because they're like, oh, you are you're barred from the palace, yeah. And so she tries to get to the Court of Shadows, and the entrance has been bombed shut. So she's like, I don't know if they're alive. Like, I've been gone a month. What the fuck?
So then she goes to Hollow Hall.
Yes.
And maybe has sex with Balkan.
She stays in Carden's old bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she doesn't want to go back to Maddox's estate yet. Yeah. Oh, well, then she uses a secret passage to get into Carden's room.
So she successfully gets into Carden's room, and he's like, "Oh, fuck!
Wakes him up,
and
then he grabs her and pulls her on top of him, and he's like, "I missed you, boo." And she's like, "We need to talk. Your brother wants me to kill you." And he's like, "But I've got a boner. Can we talk later?" And she's like, "No."
Yeah, because the Court of Shadows people come in. They're like, "She's here to kill you," and Carden's just like, "No, she's not." But and she's like, "I can't be glamored." Yeah, and like, Carden's sitting here. He's just like,
"Crawl to me, bitch."
Yeah, crawl to me, and she's like, "No." And they're like, "Oh shit, okay." And they're like, "All right, so who can?" So the Court of Shadows people are like, "All right, so who can we murder to get out of this?" And Carden's just like, "Are you?" Diplomacy
just not murder
exists. Like, let's just diplomacy our way out of this.
You're
shit,
no
right?
killer. Well, Jude is a killer, but
yeah, she is.
Like, can we just
killer?
But I like Carden. He's just like, why is it always murder with you people? Someone he's like,
he's like, you know, there are things other than murder, right? Like we can do other shit, okay?
And this is my brother we're talking about, just in case you guys forgot. He is my brother.
Hashtag whoops. Later.
Yo.
So we get ready.
So then he's like, says to Roach and Bomb, Yeah, he says to the roach and the bomb, he's like, you guys can fuck off. Jude's going to have some food because she looks starving, by the way. It's established that he had no part in her being barred from the castle. That was all Matic.
Not that the fact that she's starving matters ever again, by the way.
No. Well, the book's over in like 2 days.
Because the Carden fed her. That's why. Okay?
If you haven't eaten for a month, being fed once fixes it. That's how.
Yes.
And also, she's not Trump. We've already talked about this. It doesn't matter.
So she gets.
That's right as well. At this point as well. Sorry, Baelkin has also already given her a vial of what's the poison again?
Not a name.
It's not wild berry. It's not wild berry, but it reminds me of wild berry.
Ragberry.
So, yeah, sounds about right. Fine.
I don't know. Some ragberry poison.
I'll go look at it.
Is it ragwort?
What fucking chapter are we in?
Yeah, just type in poison. 27. Just type in poison.
No, I need to know. This is gonna bug me.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it.
Hey, Check. What up?
Fuck.
Boy. Oh, again, trigger warning for what I'm about to say. But did she get raped again after this?
No.
Okay.
Because the book's basically over after this.
While Addie's looking up the poison, so he's given her a vial of the poison, and he has said as well, I will get you into. Oh, because they're going to be hosting a revelry in honor of the guy whose court got decimated. Because he's coming to be like, King Carden, I wish to seek vengeance. So they're having a party. And he's like, I shall get you into party. And she's like, okay, I guess I shall get into party.
Fucking things.
Well, that said, though, in this one as well, she even says, like, only Locke would think to do this in this circumstance.
It's true.
So, to be fair, this one is addressed. It is addressed that it's freaking weird. Did you find the poison yet?
No. I'm trying to find it. Let me search vial.
Maybe type in berry.
Is this one a berry though?
I think it's berry. I think it's got a berry in it. Oh, I know a sentence that, like, I think it's word for word, a sentence that is in a scene where he's poisoned. As if he was to hug the room or hug the entire room. He fell over with his arms wide open as if he was going to hug the entire room.
Okay, I don't know. Where is that? Hang on.
Or maybe even antidote.
Oh, yeah.
Antidote.
That would work.
Wraithberry.
There we go.
Woo!
Okay.
Excellent.
We can live now.
Wraithberry, yes. That's supposed to kill Carden with at the revelry.
Yes. So we go to the party, and Carden comes in, and everyone's like, "Oh fuck, he's drunk," and she's like, "Shit, shit."
Before the party, damn it! Sorry.
What happened before the party? What happened before the party?
She goes to town, and she's like, "I need a mask."
Oh,
so she gets a mask. And the mask maker is like,
and she's like, "Goes to town," and I was like,
"Yep." And the mask maker is like, "When the king compliments your mask, you will allow me to make him one." And she's like, "Excellent." And then she's like, "I need a dress." And then she runs into the hag that's like, "Marry my daughter." And Carden was like, "Yeah." And I can't remember everything that they discussed, but eventually she gives her a walnut that has her dress in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't.
Well, the hag is just like, I don't like you, but I don't like the mermaids more. Have a walnut and be gone, bitch. And like that's what happens.
Yeah, and so then she goes back to Hollow Hall, and she's like, "Greetings, Balekin. I have what I need." And he's like, "Excellent. Go get dressed." And she's like, "Okay, off to Carden's old room I go." So she goes to Carden's old room, and she's like, I really do hope that my dress is in this walnut." And she opens the walnut, and perfect dress comes out. She's like, "Excellent." So she puts the dress on, puts a mask on that is painted to look just like her face. So I don't understand the point. But anyway.
Well, she says it looks more like Taryn than it does her, but they're identical twins. I don't get it. There are some parts of this I don't get.
Maybe she thought that, like, just the whole getup, she felt like she looked more like Taryn because they dress differently and do their hair differently. And
yeah,
Taryn's more feminine than Jude.
Yeah.
I guess.
Which is why Jude is her
she
main
likes being
character.
fancier.
Yep. So she goes to the ball with Balkan, and he's like,
Yes.
"Come on my arm," and she's like, "Excellent, I shall go on your arm." So then they walk in, and he's just like, "Hey everyone," and doing his like, "I'm the prince" thing, like wiggling in the point and all that stuff. And
He's like, "I'm the prince.
Okay, I'm out of here."
Did I cause a bunch of regicide? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, right.
It's cool.
No big deal. No big whoops. Who cares?
Yep. So she's like trying to find Carden, and she's like, can't find Carden anywhere. And then she bumps into Locke, and she's like, "I know you tried to kill me."
Yeah, she's like, "I know you tried
"I'm
to kill
gonna
me."
fucking do with you later." And Taryn's like, "What?" And she's like, "Fuck you in your fucking face, bitch."
And then she Kelowna dances away, which is just off to the side, and that's it. That's the end of that scene. And then Locke is like,
"What are you doing?"
Locke is like,
and then she runs into the Lord that she has the bargain with, and he's like, "Just so you know, cat butt,
ass away from me."
And this Lord dude's like, "Just so you know, if Carden doesn't do what I want him to do, you're gonna have to kill Balkan."
Yeah,
and she's
just
like,
so you know.
And then Jude has a character development moment because she just is like, "You know what? The murder's not the answer."
Yeah, I know.
She's like, "What if?" She's like,
"What if fucking not?"
Yeah, she's like, "What if murder isn't the answer, though?" And I'm like, "Yes, Jude, yes. You know what?
And then
for a moment, we stand."
Well, no, Carden's already walked in. Carden's just being drunk off his ass.
Yeah, he's
somewhere.
walking. He's like, "I'm here," and he's like dancing around the room. And then Lord Guy goes up and goes, "I wish to seek my vengeance." And he's like, "No."
Yep.
Yeah,
and
like,
Maddox threatens her
made a deal
after that. And she's like, "Hang on, I must go to Carden." And Carden's like, "My love, let's dance. Let me make out with you."
And then he starts making out with her. And she's just like, "This is weird, but this is nice, but this is Wraithberry."
But you've been poisoned, Carden. I'm glad you made out with me.
Yes.
And that poison makes you like dance yourself to death. So she's like, "I need to get him the fuck out of here." So they run into like 10 people, and she's like, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you. I need to leave."
And then
my man,
and then
go.
Balkan's like, "He has been poisoned. Check her pockets."
And she's like, "You know
excuse
what?
you.
No,
He's drunk.
Yeah,
he's just drunk.
Yeah, she's like,
"Stay in your lane."
Yeah, he's like, "He's drunk. He needs to go lay down." And then a whole bunch of other people are like, "But I wanted to talk to him." And she's like, "Well, you know what?
And then
he's too drunk to drive. We're leaving."
Yep. And then Balkan's like, "Jude, you are to not take the king anywhere." And then the king is like, "Excuse everyone, but Jude is going to take me away now because I am rather drunk." And Balkan can't really say, because at this point he still thinks Jude's glamoured.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this conversation makes it clear that Jude is not glamoured.
Like, turn out your pockets, and Jude is like, "I don't fucking feel like it." And then Carden's like, "We're leaving," and Jude is like, "All right, cool, la da da da, let's go."
And then she takes the bomb, and the bomb's like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "Poison."
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Balkan has the antidote
right now, please, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, so Balkan has the antidote, and he wants it in exchange for the crown. So she's like, fuck it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna murder his happy ass. I'm done.
Well,
No.
first though, we
her
get
plan is to trick him.
Yes,
She's like,
but
well, I'm going to
first-
drink some poison and get
first,
the
though,
antidote, and if it works, then
we do get a fun part where the bomb does give Carden clay, and he's like, "This tastes like dirt," and the bomb goes, "Well, it is dirt, so."
I know there are moments. There are moments
It's
in where I'm like,
absorbent.
"Well, this is
I
great."
was like, "That was good."
Yeah.
I enjoyed
And
that.
also and then the bomb also says as well before she goes to meet with Balkan, the bomb's also like, look, you know, he's the king of the land. He has control over the land, but he hasn't accepted himself as High King. Therefore, he can't draw on that power. We need him to actually be the High King instead of start playing the High King.
Yeah.
If that was the case, he wouldn't need the antidote, but he needs the antidote. So Jude's just like, fucking, I still have this vial. I'll poison myself, do a thing, and then blah.
Yeah.
And however, I'm guessing this conversation happened off screen because, again, PC cast and Kristen cast, take note, this is how you orchestrate a plan.
Yeah.
You make the audience either think that you either don't tell them what's going to happen or you make them think that something else is the go when it's not really the go. Okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
so then
they
she
don't tell
goes
us
down to
when.
the courtyard. Yes. So Jude goes down to the courtyard and she's like, Balkan. And he's like, Jude. And she's like, antidote. And he's like, no, I have conditions.
Like,
and she's like, no, my conditions are. And she's like, yeah, so what's your point? And then she's like, look, here's how this is going to work. I'm going to have some poison. You're going to antidote me. If it works, then I shall give you what you want, which I can't remember what it was. I think it was like the crown, I guess. Yes.
Yeah.
She's like, yes, I shall bring you the crown if the antidote works on me. And he's just like, well, I don't like that. And she's like, well, too bad. Those are your options.
Yep.
Like, meh. And he's like, fine. So she like takes a swig of the vial of stuff. And he's like, okay, here's one dose of antidote. And she's like, excellent. And then she takes a few steps back. Oh, because also he's like, do you think I'm really going to hand it over to you? Open your mouth. And she's like, okay. So he pours it into her mouth. She takes a few steps back, spits the antidote into the vial and throws it to the bomb who runs the fuck away.
Yep.
He's like, what was that? And she's like, I just drank water, you dipshit. So I'm good. And he's like, it's time to duel. And she's like, what about all the witnesses? And he's like, be gone, people. And they're like, okay. And Jude's like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
So she did try to avoid killing him.
Yeah.
She did try to avoid the situation.
Which, you know what? Again, good for Jude. She's not a stab happy. But like the other problem with that
she did what she had to do.
This is not the same character from the last book. So I just, that's my, you know.
And we also find out at this point
her
that
a better person.
Taryn is a traitor and posed as her, and Matic made a move to get the crown.
Yes, so so Jude goes back and Carden's like, you changed back into your dress, and Jude's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I never changed out of it.
Yep.
And he's like, well, fuck. And so Taryn came in and she's like, I am Jude. And he's like, hello, my love. And she's like, Daddy wants to take half of the army and be relinquish his vows to the throne. And he's like, but of course, my love. And she's like, excellent, farewell. And so that was that.
Yeah.
And Jude was like, why would you follow her command? You didn't have to. And he's like,
because I trust you.
A better person.
Yeah, he's like, because I
didn't have to command me.
Yeah, she
asked me.
Command me. She asked me. And Jude was like, yeah.
And Jude was like, look, this is a very unfortunate situation we find ourselves in. However, thank you.
Yeah. So then he tells her he wants to end their bargain. He makes a very good argument. And even she's like, yeah, he has a point, but I'm still like wary of it because I really want to extend it for a decade. All this stuff. And he's like, okay, but let me be king. And you want to know how you're still going to have power? Marry me.
And she's like,
and you shall be queen.
And she's like, what the fuck is the trick here? And he's like, there's not one.
Nothing. I just want to marry you. And I was like,
and
I was really happy.
And she's like, well, how do I know I'm not going to? Yeah. And she's like, well, how do I know you'll actually follow through with it? And he's like, look, we'll get married right now.
Right now.
Right this second. Let's do it. And she's like,
yeah,
okay.
He's like, we will get married and then you will relinquish the thingy. So then we'll already be married.
Yep.
And she's like,
so because also the vows of your average fair marriage change from person to person. However, The king's ones are more specific, which is also why she didn't want Carden to marry anyone else as well.
Yeah.
It was until I no longer wear the crown, or until we no longer wear the crown.
It was
it a we or
I got it.
It was until I no longer wear the crown, and until we don't want to be married anymore.
Yes.
And we don't want to be married anymore.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I just want to double check the wording about the part that references the crown.
Yeah, I got you. I'm here.
And I'm sure it was more flowery, like I would, or we like no longer wish to be wed.
I, Carden, son of Eldred, High King of the Elfhame, take you, Jude Duarte. That's how I think it's pronounced, though.
Duarte.
Duarte. Okay, wow. Mortal ward of Maddox, be my bride and my queen. Let us be wed until we wish for it to be otherwise, and the crown has passed from our hands. Our hands.
From our hands?
Our
okay,
hands.
Excellent. Okay, that was why I wanted to double check the thing. Like, is the crown a joint possession? Yes, it is. Okay.
Yes, it is.
That's all I wanted to double check on that. And then she more or less says the same thing back.
Yeah. And then relinquishes.
Then she's like, and then relinquishes the thing, and then they make sweet, sweet love all night and go to sleep.
Well, no, they don't. She says that they don't. Like, she's like, we made out all night, essentially. So we kissed all night. And like, I was like, can you just tell me if you had sex or not, dude? Like, can we just... You can have sex in a YA novel, trust me.
They're both naked. They were both naked in the morning.
Why can't they just fucking say it?
I don't know. It's very unclear.
Why? I'm really hoping, right, that next book she'll explicitly say she's lost her virginity, and then that'll answer the question.
Thank God. I fucking
was she a virgin?
Who fucking knows?
Well, at least up until the "I hate you" makeout scene, she was definitely a virgin before that.
Yes.
Did she lose it to Balkan?
Anytime from that point onwards is unknown.
Did she lose it to rape? Are we not going to talk about this?
Maybe her and Balkan didn't actually have sex. I don't know. That's the thing. Because it's never said.
You can't just leave it this ambiguous. It's weird.
Well, that's why I'm saying I hope next book she distinctly loses her virginity. Because then we'll know. That's what I'm hoping.
I hate this.
So it's the next morning, and someone comes in and is like,
if on Goodreads,
my lord, perhaps you may wish to dress yourself. Queen Ola wants an audience about the death of her ambassador. By the way, the ambassador, your brother, is dead.
Yes.
And Carden looks at Jude
and
he's like,
they had been having
you had
sex
blood
all
on
night
your sleeve
she's
yesterday.
like, oh, I don't like being caught like this in the morning. It's very weird.
Let me go look.
I'm naked.
Yeah, she's like, I'm naked in Carden's bed. Oh my God.
I become the queen of the fairy. We trade kisses in the darkness, blurred by exhaustion. I don't expect to sleep, but I do. My limbs tangled with his. I guess so. Carden's already up playing with the vial of clay. Still dressed, his rumpled. Oh no, he's still dressed. So they never got unclothed before.
Okay.
So they did not. They have not coitused. But
at least that night. We don't know about
at least that night.
Oh God. So then, I don't understand.
So Carden knows without even asking Jude that she killed Balkan because he knew that she went to see Balkan. She was gone for ages. She had blood on her sleeve when she came back. He's not dumb. He can add 1 + 1.
Yes, And even when he found out, he was like, I guess this is my life now. You're just gonna keep secrets from me. But guess what? I'm doing the same to you right now, bitch.
But so they go, and Queen Ola is like, I can't even remember the name of her position. Your Jafar, your hand of the king, did a stab-a-doodle on my ambassador. And he's like, look, I will say it did happen in a duel, which is legal. Okay? Mm-hmm. And as far as I'm concerned, if he gets killed by his own stupidity, not my fault.
It's on him. He declared the duel.
And she's like, there shall be war.
And he's like, but you know what, bitch? You know what's under
You know
the
what's
sea?
going on right now?
Land.
And then he starts he's not just any land either, volcanic land.
Yes.
So you know what I'm going to do right now? Boil the sea. So he boiled the sea, and the mer people are like, ah! And then he's like, okay, well that's enough of that. So let's make an island now, just to prove a further point. So an island rises up out of the ground underneath Nicasia.
This was pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
It was really badass, actually.
And all of a sudden,
Like,
Nicasia's just stuck with a little mermaid tail flopping around like a fish until her legs come back.
Yep.
And then she's like, what the fuck, God? And he's like, a super king. And she's like, cool. And then all is like, but what about the punishment from my ambassador? And he's like, well, fine then.
This is when I lost it. This is it.
I hereby, by the authority of my kingness, I hereby banish you to the mortal realm until you are either pardoned by the crown or you come back and die.
And she's like, but I'm queen, bitch. He's like, yeah.
And everyone just starts laughing because no one knows yet.
Yeah.
No one's been told. Everyone starts laughing, and then Carden starts laughing, and she goes, deny it then. And everyone's too busy laughing to take notice. So then she goes and gets dumped in mortal land, and she's living with Vivi now. Heather's fucked up because Heather knows the truth now because Vivi told her.
So they're on like a breakup sitch.
Yeah, and we'll discuss the banishment thing after we get to the end of the plot. And then Vivi's like, look, you had a rough time. You'd been held hostage for a month. You were still probably pretty dehydrated and emaciated. Yeah, he got one over on you. He tricked you into relinquishing his thing. And now all we need to do is just plan how to get him the fuck back for it. And Jude's like, fuck yes. And that's the end of the book.
Okay. Here's the thing, though.
Now let's talk about banishment.
So I skimmed through
pardon herself.
Yeah, well, I skimmed through part of the Queen of Nothing. And by the time that, and it's not till chapter 17, I think, that they actually get to talk about it. Carden literally looks Jude in the face and he's like, you fuckwit. I left it in there so that you could pardon yourself. And Jude's like, oh. Yeah,
you're right.
What? Dude, I can't.
That's why I wanted to double check the vows. Is the crown joint property?
Our crown.
Yes.
I'm sorry. That was a little dramatic.
Property.
The only reason why
pissed me off in this book.
The only reason why I'm annoyed about this is that we have to spend the better part of the next book with them separated.
Long is the next book? Which I'm going to be fucking annoyed.
We have to spend.
You said chapter 17.
Yes, we have to spend the better part of the next book.
It's a 27-chapter book.
I know. We have to spend the better part of the next book with them separated and her mad at him.
And Jude being a dum-dum.
Yes.
Okay, and we all know that's my pet peeve in books with romances is splitting them fucking up.
It's what I like to call book 2 bullshit. But obviously it's book 3, but it's book 2 bullshit is where you separate the love interest. It's so fucking dumb.
So because I had a whole different list of possibilities of what the fuck happened with that going through my head, right? I don't know whether or not he knew straight away as soon as she came back and with the blood on her arm if he put 2 and 2 together then, because she was gone for ages and came back bloody, Yeah. So who knows? But so I'm like, look, maybe he meant for her to pardon herself. Right?
Yeah, he probably did. He did.
Or even if the crown wasn't joint property, as soon as she gets dumped over there, he could have just all he had to do was literally just think, I pardon Jude. And she could come back.
He also literally, as soon as he made the decree, he could have been like, pardoned.
No, but he did it for
the show, yeah. But give her one day and come back.
Well, I think also, I don't know exactly. I think at this point he's trying to at least come up with some sort of. He needs a proper truce back in place with Queen Orla before, and I think that's why he did it in the first place.
Well, I'll say this,
especially knowing that
there's a reason why she comes back, And the second she comes back, he's like, I've been fucking waiting for you to come back. And she's like, this is all a trick. This is all a trick. And then like they get separated again. And the whole time she's mad at him and she's like, there's a trick. And then like they don't really talk again until chapter 17. And he's like, ya fuckwit. You are a queen.
And, I mean, but part of it as well is I also suspect, right, that he didn't pardon her and he didn't give her any like he didn't even reach out to her in any way for it or whatever. I imagine he was a little bit pissed off about her.
He does.
Because he also said as well, like, I don't want my brother. Oh, he does?
Yes.
Oh, well, then she's fucking stupid.
Well, the letters get lost. So in fairness to her.
Oh.
But he does.
Okay, then. But yeah, no, like I wasn't sure if it was like if he vanished just because of the political reasons, but again, left the until you're pardoned by the crown thing.
Yeah.
Or like if it was that was just for political stuff, or if he was planning on doing that from the get-go. My belief was the first one primarily, but these are the other possibilities. If he was planning on doing that for the get-go, or if he was earnest initially and then he was pissed off at her for killing his brother. So it's like, well, fuck you. Oh, crap.
I'm going to really
give me a minute. I've got a phone call.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the next book is really annoying.
I'm going to really hate it.
Never mind.
The next book is really fucking annoying.
Yeah, I read the ending of it, but we won't discuss it. Obviously, we'll wait 2 weeks to discuss it.
The next book's really fucking annoying. So next week, we're doing The Prince of Thorns.
Yes.
Yay. I'm excited.
Different series, remember.
Yes,
similar naming style, different series. It's good book week next week.
It's good book week next week. Hopefully Bay likes it. We're doing The Prince of Thorns next week. And then the week after that, we'll be finishing up this series. We get to finish up another series, so that's fun.
Dude, we're doing great.
Yeah, we're doing great. We're knocking the shit out of the park. So we're finishing up this series, and we'll be doing The Queen of Nothing. So, yeah, and beyond that, we will... I don't know if we've decided on our next bad book
I
series.
don't think we have yet.
We can after the stream's over.
Yeah. I think we talked about doing Strange Angels next.
Dude, let's fucking do it. I'm so ready to read that book series again.
So I think that's what we've talked about doing next, because I am not ready to go back to either Jenny or the cast.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Nope.
We need more. We need more.
I'm not
when we are ready
there.
to go back to the cast, but when we are ready to, I have the Die Sisters downloaded already.
Great.
Cool. Well, Strange Angels is 5 books. So I think after that.
We'll see where we're at the end of that.
After that, we might.
After that, we might be ready. Because God, yeah, we have so many books by Jenny and so many books by the cast to get through.
Yeah,
that catalog is so big and it's growing because they write like they put out.
They write like rabbits.
They do. They write like rabbits and it's ridiculous. But
well, it's very easy to write like a rabbit when you don't have any quality control.
It's true.
Yep.
So it's really hard to keep up with it. But yeah, so that's what we're doing next. And the date for Prince of Thorns is up there. Queen of Nothing is not up there yet. But yeah, so we will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.